Are we ready?
Yes. Hey everybody, welcome to season 16 of Spine Chill. I'm one of your co-hosts, John Wolfe, here with my other co-host, Gary the Hot Cross.
Hello.
And our 17-time recurring guest, Doug Running Man. Thank you for joining us once again.
Hello.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
No, thank you.
We've got a great episode and season for you today. We're going to be talking about upcoming DBD things. We're going to talk about, well, some things that we talked about last week regarding DBD as well, and some other asym games. We've got
Killer Klowns,
VHS, Evil Dead, Prop Night, even my favorite recurring topic, Prop Night. And we're doing something new for those of you watching the video version. Let me know what you think about this new format that we've got going on for the video version. For our beloved audio-only listeners, nothing's going to change. Don't you worry.
Hey, John, just real quick to cut in. You didn't mention Ghostbusters in your list earlier, and we are going to be discussing Ghostbusters.
Yes, that is on our list.
I'm doing what I do best, which is pretending that Ghostbusters doesn't exist.
You sound just like half the player base.
Oh my god. You guys are mean. I don't know if I even want to be a co-host. You guys are both mean. That's the thing.
What do you mean? I played Ghostbusters with you. I like Ghostbusters.
I know, you still said mean stuff. Anyways, it's fine.
Because it's funny.
It's fine.
So I think the first thing we need to talk about, we usually start off with DBD, and this week is no exception. We do have to broach a topic that we actually just talked about last week, where we were talking about how Bubba was rumored to leave the game, and I think this is going to be an eating crow moment for all of you, because all three of us were in solidarity that he was in fact not leaving and that the leakers were wrong. And I'd just like to take a moment to congratulate all three of us on making the correct prediction. Well done.
I think I'd like to mostly thank you, John. I think you really led us through that.
Right. Yeah, because Doug wasn't so sure about it, but I think we eventually
got a little
won
shaky.
him over. Yeah.
We got back on the same path. Just the Spine Chill podcast can't be broken. We're too strong.
You guys done?
All those sheep out there, they just thought Bubba was leaving. It was a
done
done deal.
You guys done?
And we were like, no.
Have you had your fun?
Bullshit.
Have you had
Why
your
would
fun?
Bubba go anywhere?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
I really enjoyed Spine Chill tweeting out my words and tweeting out John's condescending copium moment quote. That was really nice. It feels good to be vindicated. You guys, if you're a Spine Chill regular, if you watched the podcast prior to the last tier list, I was very much telling people not to count their eggs before they hatched on the Bubba situation, and I feel vindicated. And you know, you guys, it's fine. It's fine.
There's some revisionist history happening here, because I don't remember what you're talking about.
That's fair.
I'll honestly, check out this clip. You said there was a clip? I don't remember seeing that.
Yeah, I'm just a guest here, so I don't really know.
There we go. That's what I was waiting for you to kind of understand.
I'm just a guest here, but Bubba's not going anywhere, and that feels really good. DVD leaks, yet again, swing and a miss. We had people in the comments telling me, little deal, DVD leaks is never wrong. Well, yeah.
And there's like been drama with the DVD leak stuff, right?
Yeah, they're done, aren't they?
Somebody stepped down, like some important person. Now again, I'm not invested in leaks. I think that they're horrible for.
When we say important person.
Yeah, not. So important to DVD leaks. So I'm not a big fan of. I think leaks are terrible, and they're bad for the industry. I think they're bad for the communities. I think they're bad for morale. They're just bad. Like
they ruin everything.
I literally miss the days when Behavior would just release killers. They would just release survivors. They didn't have a PTB. We didn't know for weeks and weeks what was coming. I just wake up and like, oh, cool, Bubba's in DVD now. Oh, Amanda from Saw is in DVD now. That was exciting. It was fun. I understand why they do it, and you know, their business. They do PTBs to get hype going and get people interested in the new chapters. That's fine. But the leaks are like, they're too much, man. Like, just stop worrying about it. All it's gonna do is create expectations that they can never meet, or create, you know, false hope where there shouldn't be, and it's just so frustrating. But I guess in light of this most recent flop, this most recent huge miss, this most recent embarrassing display of internet cringe, creating a wildfire over Bubba. Now somebody who's higher up at DVD Leaks has now retired from leaks.
A DVD Leaks executive, if you will.
He's taking his leave.
I saw a funny tweet of them, like someone tweeting out like how desperate they are for Stranger Things to come back, so they can be like, "We were right about it."
Yeah, anything. Right. Well, then you saw there's something making the rounds on Reddit where like there's some person who works at Behavior who's like, I've been working with DVD leaks, and I want to tell you that Stranger Things was coming back and got canceled because of the leaks.
Yeah.
And the night was gonna be For Honor, but it got canceled because of the leaks. And then it's just like all this conspiracy theorist bullshit. Talking about how Fog Whisperers get early access. Fog Whisperers get told how we're supposed to promote content and what we have to say in order to keep that. None of that is true.
I can't imagine.
Like verifiably false, yeah.
All of it's false, yeah.
I just can't imagine if you work for Behavior, you work for a games company, you've got a grown-up job where you program or you design or you create assets, and you get home from a long day's work of building the video game and you go, time for me to go get some clout with the leakers. Yeah. Like, you're not gonna...
I do wonder if there was some money changing hands or something.
Then maybe.
It doesn't seem like it would be just, so like you could get anonymous clout as a leaker or something. But I don't know.
It's very peculiar.
I mean, considering the inaccuracy of most of the leaks, they probably didn't know anything. They're probably just throwing stuff at the wall. I mean, I don't know.
I assume most of it's them just digging through the files.
They data mine cosmetics, and those are pretty consistent and accurate. They data mine events, which are like consistent and accurate, but like I
think the cosmetic thing is the thing that annoys me the most, because that's the thing that I would like to be surprised by.
Yeah. Hey, I'm with you. It sucks, man. I'm the kind of person who likes to wait till Christmas to open my presents. Like, I don't want to know about it ahead of time. It's like it's annoying to know. I don't want to know I want something. I'd rather not know I want it until I can get it. Right? I don't know. It seems pretty.
It's like when they announce a video game too early and you have to wait for like half a year for it to come out. You get fed up.
True. Yeah, it's like when you put a game out in closed beta for months and months and months, but nobody can play it except for like 9 people. Right, and
that's a very specific example.
Yeah. And then when you reach like the peak of excitement for it, you have to take it down for 3 full months, and then when it comes back, it's already too late. Anyway, sorry.
That has actually happened. That'd be devastating.
Yeah, that'd be really bad if that happened to.
I'm just throwing out general hypotheticals. There's nothing specific.
Before we talk about the rest of our DBD topics, I would like to just bring up the Discord server that's been popping off. The new Spine Chill podcast Discord server.
So yeah, we announced a brand new Discord server last week. We just kind of did it one day, and it already has over 230 people in it, which is crazy considering we've done very little promotion for it. And the Spine Chill community is strong.
It's been really fun, like talking to people in there as well. Their ideas, their opinions about Dead by Daylight and various other asymmetrical games.
Yeah, it's been great. And if you're wanting to join the Spine Chill Discord, there's going to be an invite link in the description of this episode as well. Who knows how long it's going to be there, though? So, you might want to.
And there is a good reason to join the Spine Chill podcast at Discord as well, because I forget the name of someone suggested the idea of us having a Q&A section. I forget the name, but we've added it, and so in future seasons we may be answering some questions.
Yeah.
From you.
Will there be a specific section for questions for guests, or is this just like a you and John thing?
I think you'll be included. You'll be part of it.
It'll be on whoever
if you're invited
is on the episode will also be included, yeah.
Oh, okay, so as long as I get my invite, we're good.
Right, yeah.
All right, solid.
Yeah. If Otz is busy, then, you'll be
I'm sure he's always busy, John. Yeah,
who knows? Might have a free weekend,
I hope so.
But yeah, so join the Discord today. There's no really incentive other than if you want to hang out and talk about asym horror games. We've got a text channel for every major asymmetrical horror game, and we've even got some voice channels so you can swift with others if you want to.
Yeah, and I think all three of us are pretty reasonably active. I'm active in it pretty much all day long. Gary's pretty active in there. I've seen John in there as well. Like, we're all just kind of around. We're around. It's pretty fun. I've enjoyed it a lot so far. So
yeah,
I've had like other people to talk about these weird asyms that I love so much with.
We have a text channel for prop night in there.
True. Buckle up for prop night. We got a lot to talk about in the prop night department.
Doug is very excited to talk about prop night, and I'm very excited to hear it.
Big prop night update coming up, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah. Last thing I want to say about the leaks, though. I know we went into the Discord topic, but if you're a Spine Chill listener, we expect you to do better and be better. Ignore them. Ignore that stuff that they put out on Reddit about all this like inside conspiracy theory bullshit. It's none of it's real. I'm a fog whisperer. I have signed an NDA, but I mean at this point, like nothing that they're saying is true. I can tell you that. Like that's not real. This whole concept that we get early access to stuff, that we have any sort of input on anything like developmentally with the game, like none of that's real. So
yeah, Doug knows nothing.
Maybe they're just not telling me. I don't know. You're probably right. But
they think you're the mole.
Yeah, maybe they think so. I don't know. But no, the reality is like that stuff on that Reddit post, like I think is just absolutely grasping at straws, trying for some sort of internet clout. Yeah. And again, if they get one of the 10 things they said right, then we'll have to listen to people be like, DBD Leaks never misses, like for another year. So just ignore them, please. I beg you.
If it ever turns out you do know stuff and you don't share with us, I'll be so upset with you.
For anyone that's listening that may not even know about the post that we're even talking about, it's like a series of things that we're not even going to dignify. Predictions and explanations and leaks for things from year 7 and beyond of DVD. So, I mean, I read through it, but
the TLDR version is DBD Leaks was right about everything, but because of the leaks, they don't look real because they cancel everything.
They were too right.
Yeah, they were so right that these license holders pulled out because they're like, wow, DBD Leaks, you're so right about everything.
Yeah.
We'll go to a different game where you can't crack the code.
The only stuff that they were wrong about was stuff that they were actually right about. And they were so right that the license holders were like, no, we're not doing it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I mean, that's the definition of copium.
Yeah.
That's our daily dose of copium right there.
Daily dose of copium. We might have a new segment for the podcast, honestly.
Your daily dose of copium.
John's Daily Dose.
Sponsored by John Wolfe.
Aside from that, there is a new lunar event on the horizon, or sort of already started. Sort of, not quite, kind of.
I don't really know.
It got really confusing because the background like kicked off and I started the game up again because I was like, oh, Pog, it started. And then I was like, no, it hasn't.
We get our first ever pre-event, which behavior. Hey guys, it's your boy, Running Man. Love ya, love your work, love your game. This was confusing as fuck for most people, and people were very upset by it. So basically what they did is they launched the event, but like a week before the event, so they changed the lobbies. And then every day you get login rewards, which are just, you get stuff from the last event that you might have missed. So people that are newer to the game or might have missed stuff last year are going to get like, you know, the rat hammer for Billy, and there's like the masks and stuff like that. It's cool stuff, but like, for those of us who...
though. Yeah. I really have a complaint. Because like, as someone who's already got the stuff from last year, it would be nice to get some blood points or something for these codes. I don't know. It just narcs me.
I'm with you 100%. I'm like, dude, why? Like those of us most people played last year, and like, you know, I don't know. It's just really like,
you're like, there's a new code, and I'm like, oh, exciting. I put it in. No, nothing.
I mean, blood points, eerie shards, anything would be nice. Frankly.
Just a compliment. Just like, hey guy, you do pretty good in the game.
Yeah,
you do pretty good.
It just comes up on the screen and says, you're handsome.
Yeah, honestly, I take it. Yeah. But it's just like, it's kind of annoying. And then everybody got confused. Like, you know, chat was like, well, why am I not getting firecrackers yet? Like, it's this whole thing. And so it's just kind of silly. I feel like they should have maybe done a little bit more with the pre-event. And like you said, I think as easy as blood point rewards is like all they have to do. But.
Yeah.
Anyways, the actual event is coming on Tuesday with the PTB going live.
Oh, so they're going to go at the same time?
Okay, so the PTV is not going on like Wednesday or anything, or the...
It's always gotten so confusing because for a while they started coming out on Wednesdays, didn't they? Or at least PTBs went live on Wednesday. It was really weird. Now I think it's all on Tuesdays, right?
Well, but that's just strange to me if they're both on the same day. because then it's like, I mean, you
That's
want
what
people
messy.
in the lunar event, but then if there's a PTB, that's obviously going to draw a lot of people.
They're not going to release the PTB. They're going to make the last PTB live. The mid chapter goes live.
Yes, yeah. But like,
oh, okay, I get it.
The mid chapter goes live. So all I know for sure is that the 24th.
oh, sorry, yeah.
The 24th is when the lunar event actually starts. Like that's when we're going to start getting the envelopes and the firecrackers and whatever other cool stuff that they have. The skins will go live. The new skins will go live. I believe the mid chapter also goes live on that Tuesday. And I think that's probably why they lined it up.
Oh, God.
Right.
So we're all going to be like, oh, I get to get some firecrackers and unlock some cosmetics. And then it's just going to be tons of nurses.
Yeah, nurses and knights. You know, Hens, I think you guys are familiar with Hens, right?
Yeah.
He's really a good content creator. He plays a lot of Killer. He did a poll on Twitter. He has a lot of traction. He has a lot of votes on his polls. He did a poll on Twitter, which got like massively shared in the DVD community. And it was, who would you rather play against in solo queue? Knight or nurse, and it was 51-49 for the nurse. So the nurse actually beats out Knight, but they're both going to be like two of the most played killers in DVD now.
I think it's because like the nurse is so strong, and even when she gets changed, she's still going to be incredibly strong. Still the strongest killer in the game, and that is irritating because you don't have, especially in solo queue, you stand no chance. But the Knight, fairly weak, but so boring to go against.
Yeah.
Like, it's just such an uninteresting
Dreadfully
match.
boring.
It's just very boring. And I think that's why... Interesting, two sides of a coin, I guess. Incredibly weak and boring, incredibly strong and boring.
That's what we're going to be seeing, solo queue friends.
Enjoy the lunar event. You get firecrackers. I will say some of the cosmetics look pretty fun. I like the Claudette glasses. That I'm looking forward to. And did you see the Feng cosmetic?
Yeah. You talking about the Twitch Prime one?
Oh, yeah.
No, not the Prime one.
The upcoming one. The one with the not the Prime.
Power Ranger one.
No, the one with the exposed midriff. Yeah.
Yeah, the bunny one.
The bunny one.
Top quality.
Yeah.
Top quality cosmetic, that is. Good job, behavior.
And Feng really needs more cosmetics, so it's really.
I'm glad they're finally giving her a new one. It's been too long.
Yeah.
Since Feng had a new cosmetic.
It's going to be a limited time one, right? I think Vittorio's getting one, right?
I don't know. I don't really. Vittorio is just out of sight, out of mind for me. So.
It feels like Vittorio, because they've already gone full in and gone, here's shirtless Vittorio. When they give him a new jacket, it's like, that's not what people want.
Yeah.
You should have Felixed it.
Now they want bottomless Vittorio. That's the only thing that's gonna get them out of bed.
I'm surprised they haven't done like. Aren't they meant to be doing like a Somerset at some point? Surely, maybe from like the Hooked on You stuff. Didn't they mention something like that?
They talked about that. Yeah.
We'll get a summer event. We always get a summer event.
Yeah.
God, I don't know if you guys. Neither one of you played during the original summer event, right? The barbecue event with like the.
No, but I've seen footage.
The margarita gens and the grill hooks. God, please, behavior. If you listen to the podcast and you have any love or respect for any of us individually or collectively, like just give us that event again. Just one time, just do that exact event, and
I'd like to experience it. Yeah,
you're gonna win back so many people. It was so good, so fun. It was the perfect event.
True. At least from what I saw. I wasn't there for it. But.
Yeah.
I always hear people pine for the old days, and they're talking about the margarita generators and the grill hooks. Yeah.
Yeah. And like both sides just got rewarded for playing the game for fun. Like, and just everybody was just, I don't know. Maybe it was just a different time. Maybe I'm like that old guy pining for the old days. But like people
probably because like that event, if it happened now, I mean, every time an event kicks off, it just feels like everyone gets a bit sweatier.
Yeah.
I don't really know why.
I do think that the Snowman event is probably the best thing they've done in a long time for events. Because there was a little bit of fun now and then.
I really like the Snowman. I missed them already.
Yeah. I do too. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I hope they make more events like that.
We all look so sad because of the Snowmen being gone.
Yeah.
Oh, it was like we got a peek into the fun zone, and now it's being whisked away. Yeah. So we need something to replace it fast.
You know what we replace it with is the new DBD Cup, right? The competitive cup. What is that thing that they just announced?
The community cup.
The community cup.
Yeah.
That'll give us back the fun.
Because it hasn't happened yet, has it?
No.
They announced one, and it hasn't. This is the same one, right?
No. Yeah.
Because I think they changed the rules or something. I'm sure I saw them tweet out recently.
Yeah, they're gonna be putting more focus on hooks rather than kills for the community cup,
which is a great segue.
Oh, and yeah, because there has been a discussion about, well, for quite a while, to be honest, hooks versus kills.
Well, it has been a trending topic, but
yeah, like a lot of people have been talking about it for a long time. I think us three included, to be honest.
Yeah. But I think the announcement about the community cup and a certain prominent content creator has made it reach a new fever pitch in the DBD community. Yes.
Go on, John. Go on. I'm listening.
So this anonymous content creator, I don't know if you've heard of them or not. They tweeted recently about how they had a new system that they'd like behavior to implement to reward hooks over kills, because that's how the game has been designed up until now, is to reward kills over hooks in MMR. But they'd like to change that. They'd like to give more points for getting separate hooks and have that be the new motivation for killers. And yeah, I don't really have the tweet right in front of me. They had a bunch of different values that they put on things.
I can get it up.
It was like 1 hook is 1 point. And then like if you have 3 separate hooks on 3 separate survivors, it's 18 points.
Each hook stage was worth 1 point. Separate hooks were worth 3 points, and a fresh hook was worth 6 points.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you hook 3 different survivors in a row, you get 18 points.
So who was the one that tweeted that, actually? Since you've got the tweet up.
Oh, did you not know?
It's literally True Talent, right?
Yeah,
it's true. It's true.
I just thought it'd be funny to dance around it.
Oh, okay. No, I'm not gonna do that.
If we decide not to have that in there, just beep us out.
Yeah, just bleep. No, so True tweeted that, which is, it's whatever. That's okay. We can talk about that. We can think about that. He's been talking about. Ironically, he's been talking about playing for hooks over kills for a long time.
Yes. Has been beating that drum for basically since the MMR change.
Which is an argument I do agree with. I am pro hooks over kills. The way I play Killer, I try to double hook everybody before I start killing them, unless, it gets down to 1 or 2, sometimes 2 gens. Depends how sweet. If there's 4 of them alive at 2 gens, I'll try and kill someone out of the game. But
that's usually how I play too. Is I don't go for kills usually unless gens are flying, and then I'll start adjusting my playstyle.
Yeah, like when you get towards the end of a match, it's like now kills are over hooks because it's just feels right.
If there's like 5 or 4 gens left, and I'm like, oh my god, I've got I'm like
when you get like a second down at 5 gens, and you're like, okay, well, go get the unhook guys, because this match is already looking like it's in my favor.
Yeah,
it's an early start. I don't know, man. Like, playing for kills is playing for hooks, though, because like if you get somebody out of the game, then you'll get your hooks as the game it becomes kind of unwinnable for the survivor team. Like,
right.
I mean, the thing is, like, so everybody knows that I play mostly Killer, and I've been getting back into playing a lot more Killer lately. It's been my fire's coming back. I've been playing with like a lot of different.
We're talking about Dead by Daylight, though, Doug, not.
I have been playing Dead by Daylight also. I stream a lot, bro, okay? I've been playing DBD, I've been playing Killer, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I was actually inspired by one of my favorite streamers, John Wolfe, to play more Deathslinger lately. Because, of course, John is who I think of.
I've heard he's quite good.
These days, yeah. He is good.
Thank you.
Very solid. And so, but no, I've been running a lot of, like, no slowdown builds or, like, single slowdown rather than relying on slowdown. I've been doing some fun stuff with twins where I'm running, like, hysteria, so I can get people oblivious and surprised, like jump scare on twins. Like, I've just been doing fun stuff and finding my passion a lot more. But the thing is with hooks over kills, in a perfect world you could balance the game around hooks over kills, but the problem is that, and again, Otz came in, Otz Darva, who everybody is also probably pretty well aware
That's
of.
a DBD streamer, right? I think I've heard of him.
He's a Dark Souls guy.
He's like a smaller DBD streamer, yeah.
He's a Dark
kind of newer
Souls guy.
to the scene.
He messes with DBD.
Yeah.
He came in and basically was like, well, what do you do about, if you're going to reward hook states or reward fresh hooks, what do you do about people that just give up on hook? Or don't go for saves. They just bang out gens. Like actually having it be hooks over kills is easier to punish the killer, because then survivors, if they know that they win the game based on, they're just gonna go do gens and get out. Like,
well, you just
hook somebody.
if people go to stage 2, you just reward the killer. Just give them the points.
But then you're right back
to
then you're right back to incentivizing camping.
Yeah.
You're even incentivizing it more, because now I'm gonna get extra points for camping this out. Having to kill it. It's the problem.
That's
I feel like
that's fair. That's a fair
like,
point. Yeah.
I think it's an unsolvable problem. Is where we're at.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
the only way you can really solve camping and tunneling, in my mind, is to go even harsher on like the built-in borrowed times and the built-in anti-camping. Like what is the Rebecca perk? I can't.
Reassurance.
Reassurance. Yeah. Stuff like that. Built-in kindred, a baseline reassurance, a baseline borrowed time. All those things. Ramp those things. You just have to punish it. I'm sorry. There's no way to reward. They're not going to reward their way into killers playing the game in a way that makes the game harder.
That's like, I've talked about this. I think I've probably banged this drum way too many times on the podcast, but the whole thing, I heard for years, killer players saying, if we just nerf gen speeds, then you won't see us camping and tunneling and playing like this. We have to do it because gens are flying. And then they nerfed gen speed by 10 seconds, and it didn't change anything. And in fact,
it got worse.
It got worse.
Yes. Right. That was like the sweatiest patch we've had, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was accompanied by some other changes, but ever since then, I've been like, okay, you guys, anything that DVD players say, survivor or killer, like, oh, we'll stop playing this desperately if you just make this change to make it easier for us. No, if it's made easier for them, they're going to play just as desperately because they want to steamroll the other side.
Honestly, the best way to do it is, I say the best way, off the top of my head, pulling an idea out of my ass, would be to maybe associate, you know how Merciless Killer is now going to be assigned to like 4 kills?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's better off you associate that with number of fresh hooks.
Well,
because like you know when you get a 12 hook game and like everyone dies on their 3rd hook, you put them on there, they die.
Yeah,
that is like the best victory to have.
It is for sure.
But like at the same, I think too many people think it feels the same as just camping, and then people dying on their 1st hook because you stand nearby it. Like I just think there is a way of doing it. I don't think True's suggestion is the right one, but I think there is a way around it.
I do think that, like, because currently the highest reward for a killer is to get a 4K, or because it usually means like they killed all the survivors, right? And it usually means that they at least pip, maybe double pip. Yeah. It would be interesting if there was a bigger reward for 12 hook, like a kind of a ridiculous one.
These new, if they ever did change it so that there was like the final Mori, stuff like that could be cool. Maybe if you do that, you unlock new Moris.
I was thinking something like maybe you could triple pip for a 12 hook game or something like that.
Good, little golden pip at the end.
Yeah, something to incentivize it that way. But I mean, that's only going to motivate some people to play like that.
I mean, again, I don't mean to be the voice of fucking or like, I don't mean to be meh about it, but like
the pessimist.
You're just not going to reward your way into people not running 3
it's true.
perks interruption. Like they're just not, like, they don't care. This has been a conversation since the beginning.
If you can give some, because behavior could create rewards. There's stuff they could do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as I say, like if they did Moris and you had to get, like, I don't know, you got 50 golden pips as a killer and you unlock a new Mori, people would suddenly want to do that, I think. And
some people would.
Yeah.
There's people P100ing for nothing. People do it. Yeah. People do it because it's a challenge.
But people who are not capable of winning with a challenge will just continue to do the same thing they're doing now and get their I mean, the thing is, you have to convince people that a 4K isn't the same no matter what, I think, to fix the problem. Because people just want to get a 4K. And right now, the current easiest way to do that is to hook somebody in a 3-gen, watch them pass away through 3 hook states, or get trades in the same spot, keep kicking the gens, and then you've got a 1v3 with a 3-gen, and you just win the game. It's over.
I mean, I sit at a position where I think the best way for this to happen would be for bigger creators to not give a shit about kills. Like, I agree that hooks should be... I would prefer the game to be about hooks. I think it's more fun to play killer as for hooks. That's how I play. That's how most of us play. But among the community, there is a big push where people are playing for kills. And I think it would be healthier if people weren't constantly advertising that as the way you should play.
Yeah, it's kind of the idea of be the change that you want to see in the world, right?
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Agreed.
So, yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree that a lot of the current DBD culture that has come out, you know, recently has been fueled by content creators. I would agree with that. I mean, it's like we talked about in our Survivor tier list last week. Like, how many people do you see with the, you know, these toxic Nias with the flashlights? How many of them are doing that because they saw Noob 3 do it, right?
Yeah.
They wouldn't be playing like that if they weren't influenced by the content creator. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with, you know, toxic Nias, but it's an example of the influence that bigger content creators can have on how the community at large plays the game.
Yeah, I heard a recent, there was like a tweet conversation where somebody was talking about that. They were like, "Oh man, it was regarding VHS," and they were talking about, "Yo, don't be the guy." Shut up, Gary. This is relevant to what we're talking about.
Keep going.
Somebody was like, "Don't be the guy that like teaches people how to play in a scummy optimal way. Like then everybody's going to be playing that way." The problem is that it's going to always happen though. Like there's if we're talking about, again, we've mentioned some content creators that maybe focus on kills over hooks, whatever. Like if that person stops, the next one's just going to come in and do it. Like there's no way to stop it. I don't think. I think
it's absolutely like, and I have no problem with people playing for kills necessarily. Like play the game however you want to. I don't really care. But like if you want behavior to at some point change the game to be more hook sided, I would suggest that's how you have to play, because I think behavior are actually quite good at listening to the community. Every single update, all these changes are all responding to the community's wants, and for better or for worse. So if everyone just plays for kills, but they say I want hooks, but you play for kills, so why would behavior care? You're playing the game, you're playing for kills. You seem happy enough.
Yeah, like I mean that's how, Gary, we just talked about how that's how we play the game when we play killers. We go for hooks. And is it frustrating sometimes? I will admit it. You know, I've only played killer this month. I haven't played Survivor at all. And we're 3 weeks in. And so I have had frustrating matches for sure, where I'm like, if I wasn't going for hooks right now, I wouldn't be in this 0K situation where the 5th gen just popped and I'm like, they're all alive and they're all gonna escape. But it is how I'd prefer to play the game, so I keep doing it that way. And you know, I don't, you know, it's like it's all down to your individual motivation, right? Because like I'm not gonna sit there and be like, won't behavior do something about this game, but then I play as toxically as possible, because then I'm just reinforcing the stereotype that I supposedly am opposing. And so I try to, you know, lead by example, and I know plenty of other people do too. You know, but ultimately, yeah, if that's the way that you want to play, then do it. But don't play scummy. Don't sit there like flashlight clicking and teabagging and then be like, you know, why are survivors so toxic? It's like, well, look at what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, like, I will say, like, when I play killer, I've been playing killer a bit more recently because I've been learning Huntress and stuff. And I kind of like, you know, when people complain about how toxic their post-game lobbies are when they play killer from Survivors, I just don't get it. I've had some of the most wholesome interactions. I actually had people, like, it was a Swift that I went against as Huntress, and they came into my chat and they were just so happy with how the match went, because I didn't play for kills. I just played for I won, and it was great, and they were just really happy because they had a fun match.
Yeah.
I think that's what most people want. And I think the trouble is survivors are getting increasingly frustrated with killers, so they teabag more because they're just angry, and then killers are getting more and more angry. Everyone's angry. So,
right. I have can I give a little? This is kind of my take on playing killer and the current killer meta and the current killer play style. The whole topic. All right. I think that for me, I'm kind of in the same boat as you guys, especially lately. I've been experimenting with new builds. I've been experimenting with new killers. I think that something that I have like kind of like a privilege of is that I have so many hours and so much experience, because basically the way I play is I go into it playing for hooks. And then when the game reaches a state where I'm going to be throwing the game if I don't confirm something, I like tighten up my gameplay.
Yes. No, because Doug, you're a very fair killer. I think all three of us do this. We flick the switch, and it's usually around 2 gen stage or something.
Yeah.
It's time.
And sometimes that switch goes on at 3 gens, depending on what the map is and where it's at and how the chases have gone. Like that switch happens. And I think what's happening with a lot of killer players is they're not, this is going to sound entitled, but they're not putting in the time. They're not actually good. They don't actually know. When they need to turn the switch on. Yeah. So what they're doing is they're taking a shortcut, and instead of getting good at the game and learning the game and understanding the game fully, they're just camping at 4 or 5 gens. And they're just getting the guarantee. Because I could literally go in and face camp the first guy I catch every game, and I'm going to average 2 to 4 kills, no matter what. Right. Because just with the altruism and with the amount of teams I'm going to get in a night that are going to legitimately just do gens and leave is very low. And even with that, I could probably scrape out 2 or 3 more.
Yeah,
right?
Especially because no ed and no way out.
I mean, if I have those, I don't always run no ed and no way out. I do run no
special.
That's not the running man specialist. But the point I'm making is these guys are not these players are not cutting their teeth. They're not literally learning the game first. And so again, we know the game. All of us are veterans of the game, so we can play and we can start to sense. You got that first chase down, 2 gens pop. The second chase down, another gen goes. A couple were pumping. These guys are juicing. Okay, now I got to tighten it up. Now I got to start playing a little more patrolling. Let me look at where my 3 gen. Have they broken it yet? If not, let's kind of stay close to it. Start to read which gens they're going to be on, stuff like that. And the thing is, these guys with 200-300 hours in the game, they watch their favorite content creator get 4K after 4K after 4K because their favorite content creator has been playing since 2017 or some shit. And they just, it's like, I think it's legitimately a problem with like expectations versus reality. And like, again, people with less experience that spend a lot of time watching and observing and setting their, like, if you watch True Talent play Dead by Daylight consistently and you play 20 to 30 hours a week, you should not expect your performance to match his performance. He's been playing the game since closed beta, right? Yeah. Full stop. And then it's debatable where he's at mechanically and like experience wise. He's got a lot of experience. There's debatable whether you think he's a good killer or not. Whether you think he's a good killer player or not doesn't matter because he's got hours and he's got experience. So it should be reasonably assumed that a person who's been playing the game since last year isn't going to be playing at the same level. And so again, I remember this is something that happened a long time ago with Fungoose and Dowsey were both really heavy on the educational content creation and DBD, and they were teaching strategies, advanced strategies to play killer. And I remember telling my community, like, don't go out and watch one of these videos and expect you're going to apply that stuff. Like, you're playing checkers, and those guys are playing chess. They've been playing the game as an art form and a career for years now. So, you know, you're not going to, the guy that plays basketball at the YMCA doesn't need, you know, advice on doing a crossover from somebody who plays in the NBA. Like, it's not the same level. It's not the same game. You know, focus on the basics, learn the basics, lose games, and figure out why you lost the games, and then apply that.
We were talking about this, was it today, Doug? We're talking about, like, people kind of lack that ability sometimes to just be like, it's okay to lose. And if you lose, that's a good thing. You learn something. Yeah. As long as you can, like, reflect on what went wrong. Because, like, whenever I lose a game, there's usually 1 or 2 moments where I'm like, that's where I really threw. And like, John, you were talking about it earlier. Like, sometimes you think, oh, if I'd just gone for the kill, I could have won this match, right? But I chose to play fun. But you know that if you were to be that bothered about the 0K, you know that you made a mistake. Yeah. Like, and that's good to reflect on. And that's how you learn that switch that we were talking about. By knowing, you know, being able to go, if I'd just gone for that tunnel there, if I just decided to kill that person, I'd have won. Right. That's the switch. Yeah. But people go in 5 gens and they just, as Doug said, it's the lazy option. It's easy. You're
skipping all of the struggle and it's like wanting to have the chiseled frame and the chiseled body without going to the gym. You don't want it's the diet pills of video games, right? You just want to take a pill and eat whatever you want, do whatever you want, and be skinny. That's not how it works. Like, you have to cut your teeth, you have to do the time, you have to work hard if you want to be good. And nothing worth having or doing should be easy. So what I'm saying is, if you're getting easy wins with Eruption, call O'Brien, overcharge, and no, you're bad and you're not good and you didn't do the work and it's going to hurt you because eventually they're going to take that out of the game and then you're going to go back to having to play normal and you're not even going to be good and you're just going to suck. And be like,
if I go against a killer and they bring Eruption, I just say GG Eruption.
It's like, well, it's like remember old Undying where it would just infinitely clone the hex?
Yeah, 5 runes per game. Yeah, I
it's
remember
like
very clearly.
All these killers that back then that were running ruin Undying. As soon as they nerfed Undying and they had to go back to, I don't know, ruin Pop or something, I imagine they went from like, back to back to back 4Ks to getting some 4 escapes in there because they hadn't honed their skills. And, like you said, Doug, like I've been there many times. Like I can't tell you how many times this month alone that I've been down to 1 gen, all 4 survivors are alive, and I've got like 3 hooks or something, and I've been like, okay, time to flip the switch, right? And then I turn it into a 3K or 4K, just because like experience plays a role in that, and it's identifying like, okay, now I need to stop messing around, going for chases, really, and just kind of play competitively, right?
I tell you another facet of the problem as well is the people that are playing at the 5 gen, I got someone, now I'll just camp them till they're dead. What vindicates them is that 3 gens pop whilst they're doing that, because they're not patrolling generators. So they're like, and then in the post game, they'll justify it by being like, well, you guys are gen rushing. It's like, well, what do you want us? You weren't stopping us working on the gens.
If I chased somebody, those 3 gens would have popped. Who was going to work on them?
Yeah.
2 survivors? Like, they can't do 3 gens.
They're just all so new and bad. Like they can't even do math in their head. Like if you got someone on a hook and you're chasing somebody, somebody has to go for the save. I literally will do the math out loud and say it on stream. Like there can only be 1 person on gens unless they're letting that guy go to second phase. You can literally, and again, it's like I can't blame these people because a lot of them they're newer or they don't play a lot and they don't have the experience. They haven't played the game consistently enough to know these things, to really process these things, because again, they've been spoon-fed the easy option. They watch their favorite content creator show them how to more effectively tunnel out somebody with Pyramid Head at 5 gens for tactics. They see that and they say, oh, I can just do that and then I don't have to learn when is the best time.
People want to win in the easiest
to leave a chase,
which I can understand sometimes, because like playing killer is a little stressful.
I can empathize with it to an extent.
Can I talk about this? Yeah, it's stressful because it's supposed to be. Because you're the one and the one before. That's why. These people that are like, oh, get like killer's got to be so stressful. It's because it's fucking hard to play against 4 other people. Yeah, that's how every asym's supposed to. I'm sorry, I'm not yelling at you, Gary. I'm not yelling.
Oh no,
at you,
I know.
No, I know. We get it. We understand.
Because it is frustrating. Because like I love playing killer in DBD. It's my preferred way to play.
Same, right?
Because it's exhilarating and challenging.
It is, and it feels so good to win. Unless you just suck and stand around.
If they made killer as switch your brain off like as Survivor, I'd hate it.
It can't be chill, because if it's chill, if playing killer is chill, if it's a relaxing experience, you control
on Coldwind Farm.
Yeah. You control that. You get to decide if you're gonna be stressed out or not. Like, I'm sorry, that's a personal thing.
No,
I used to get really worked up, and now I don't, and that's from hours and hours and hours of experience. But if the killer experience overall just became a chill experience, literally no survivor is having fun, because these guys who are running the meta and hard camping and hard tunneling at 5 gens are about to get. Business is about to pick up for those guys, right? Because they're going to have to nerf Survivor a ton, or they're going to have to make the game even easier. And again, yes, killer is stressful. It can be stressful if you set unreasonable expectations for yourself in an RNG party game. Yes, it can be stressful. But like at the end of the day, you shouldn't have unreasonable expectations, because the nurse and Michael Myers are in the same game, playing on the same maps against the same survivors.
Do you know, it makes me laugh when like people are like, they're fine enjoying the game, 4K, and then as soon as I get a 3K, oh, it's not balanced.
Yeah. Yeah, and it happens on both sides. We're talking a lot about killers.
Survivors are just as bad.
We're bullying killers right now, but survivors are the same way. They'll be 4-outing all night in their Swift, and then they're like, they get killed they lose one game, and they're like, oh, it's obviously this is broken. It needs to be fixed.
Can I say one thing that I've noticed recently on DBD Twitter has been making the rounds is this whole notion of survivors being like, how come we never get Billy? I love playing against Billy. Billy's so fun. How come I never see Billy anymore? And then they get a Billy that's just like, I'm going for fun chainsaws, and I run one slowdown, and then they just, bing, 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 and they leave. They don't actually.
They gen rush against them. They don't go out for the chases. And then,
it's like,
and they teabag and they make it as obnoxious as possible because it's a Billy, and Billy's the hardest to get to play.
Yeah,
like I've one of my big things on here that I've said for week after week after week is like, as killer, if you're camping and tunneling at 5 gens, like, you're making the experience miserable for the survivors, and you don't have to play like that to win. You don't have to play like that. It's unnecessary. And I feel the same way for survivors that play like this against killers. It's like, not only as killer, you don't want to treat like solo queue babies like they're a competitive Swift, because you're just gonna knock their heads against the wall and they're gonna leave like, well, that was horrible experience, right? But as survivors, you also don't want to do that. Like, get a tone for the match before you start just banging through gens and teabagging and flashlight clicking and stuff. If you're playing against somebody that's running one slowdown, or somebody that's clearly going for chases, like, now's your time to have some fun. This is what you want, right? You want to go for chases, so go for chases. Well, if you want to sit there on a gen, then don't sit there on a gen. It's the same problem, And
like, kind of like in that vein, and kind of what Doug was saying before as well. And actually, one of the points that really upset people in one of my YouTube videos lately is, if you treat DBD as this competitive game that you just want to win at all the time, like, this is your competitive sport game, maybe you're not good at comp games.
Yeah,
because DBD is so RNG heavy.
Yeah,
and it's like, as you're saying, like, Myers and Nurse are in the same game. It's a chaotic mess.
Garden of Joy and Cold Tower are both possible maps for the Nurse or Michael Myers. Like, can you the variance of all of that,
God.
and then RNG tiles and RNG.
Right. Yeah.
It's asymmetrical. It's not balanced.
Just accept that you can't win at Overwatch 2 and you play DBD instead, and that's absolutely fine. But stop treating it like an esport.
And both sides can do it. Both sides can do it. Survivor can do it. Killer can do it. You can set things up to where you can basically not lose because you use the most broken stuff. You play in the most broken way. Both sides do it to a certain extent. And they set themselves up for just consistent W's, and then they're like, "I'm amazing. I'm so good. I'm cracked at this game." And then they encounter the slightest pushback, the slightest inconvenience, and it's like, well, just balance your game behavior. Like, it's not balanced. And again, the more people ask for balance, the more dissatisfied the community gets.
Yeah, because balance keeps coming, and the more balanced it becomes, the more competitive everyone's becoming. But the game will never be balanced.
And it's not their fault because they're being told that's what people want. The community wants it. They want balance to be they get to win.
Yeah, they don't want balance. They want to win.
Yeah.
There's like an infectious fear of losing in DBD, especially, which is, I mean, I understand it. Like you say, in Overwatch, you don't want to lose on Overwatch. The only positive experience that you can get from that is from winning.
Yeah.
But DBD, I think, is in a unique position in that you can have some very fun games as killer that you get a 1K or a 2K. You can have very fun games as Survivor where you die and you don't escape. And so it's not all predicated on the end result,
Yeah.
And I wish that was embraced more, but oh well.
Yeah. And how do you fix the problem, right? You can't. Yeah. It's over. It's too late. It's done.
Yeah. Well, the problem, like, people blame behavior, but it's like the problem is the player base.
Yeah.
We need to chill out.
Behavior's literally just giving the people what they want. They want balance. Both sides, killers mains, survivor mains, both sides players, streamers, casuals, DBD mobile players, everybody, we need balance. Balance the game. This is broken, fix it. This isn't fun, fix it. They're just constantly asking for balance, and the more balanced the game gets, the less fun it gets, the more seriously people that play it take it, because they're being told, this game has an MMR, this game has ranks, this game has balance, this game needs to be balanced.
And all of these things that everyone hates now are because of balance. The game was fine before balance. Just let it be a mess. I would bring back Eerie Head Huntress and just get rid of MMR. Just let it be a mess. I don't care.
I bet the game overall would be more fun if they made those two changes.
I don't
honestly.
know about bringing back Eerie Head, but
if I had to take, like, if you had to eat something like that, though, just to get MMR out of the way, I'll take it.
Just imagine if behavior, just for like, and this is never going to happen, but just imagine they took like a 6 month or 1 year and their balance team, they just turned them into a fun team. And they were like, just do stuff that's fun. Find things that are fun to do. Just fun to do. Just interesting stuff. Just
hire former Fortnite devs, frankly.
Yeah. I just
honestly,
like
that would be a great shout.
Stuff to do.
Fortnite's
Who cares?
Fantastic.
Yeah. Just some silly stuff, man. Like,
yeah.
And the community fucking loves it. The snowman, they're like clips, and people are like, "Woo, snowman! We're so much fun," you know. And like, and again, I talked about the barbecue event, you know, the old event. Those were fun. The Halloween events have been fun. Like, the community is desperate to have fun. They want to have fun when they play.
Honestly, I'm just thinking like all the kind of dumb stuff you could take from like Fortnite ideas and put in DBD as an event. Oh, I'd be the best.
Yeah.
Right.
Give me some zip lines.
And it's not, and again, we'll mention it a little bit more talking about other games, but it's not just DBD. It's every ASIM. Every ASIM is balanced. And that's the thing. We might just have to just come to the terms of the fact that it's not going to ever change. Because this is just what gaming is now. Twitch is huge, YouTube is huge. People watch their favorite content creators. Their favorite content creators win a lot, so they want to win a lot. They expect to win a lot. I'm
so desperate for Killer Klowns and Texas Chainsaw Massacre to break that mold. I really need Killer Klowns to just be so ridiculous that it cannot be taken seriously. And I need Texas Chainsaw Massacre to be so atmospheric and horror-based that win or loss, you have a good time. You have a horror-fueled thing. That's what I'm so hopeful for. Sorry.
I think it will help with those games that the killer's not just by themselves. I think that's where a lot of this ASIM angst comes from.
I'm so happy there's 3 killers on both teams as well.
Yeah. Well, because like as a solo killer in these other ASIMs, VHS, DBD, what have you, Prop Night, you feel ganged up on sometimes by 4 survivors, and it would help to have some kind of social aspect to playing killer. And I think that's one reason we're so excited about Killer Klowns in Texas Chainsaw, is because at least it'll make it more social and therefore make it a little more fun based, is my thinking.
I think that it can be better. I think it can be more balanced too. I think it can be better balanced without it compromising fun. Because if you're talking about, for instance, Texas Chainsaw, right? It's 4v3. So the killers don't have to necessarily be way stronger than the survivor. Like, they can keep things pretty close, right? Because you only have a one-man advantage.
It's going to be the closest to a symmetrical ASIM.
Yeah. And I think that'll really help with bridging the gap between, because you can't actually be fully balanced in a 4v3, but I think it can be closer without it feeling oppressive to anybody, right? Because you're, again, for you to, when you have a 4v1, it comes down to that whole, like, ultimately, at the highest possible level, everything being equal, the 4 and the 4v1 is always going to be stronger than the 1, because they're going to have 4 people making independent decisions with experience, knowledge, execution, and then the 1, again, they talk about, like, if you make one mistake, it's over. That should be how it is in a 4v1. That's literally how it works. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, you want to be the 1 in the 4v1, you got to play perfect if you want to win at the highest level.
Yeah.
Most people don't play at the highest level. I'd argue that 95% of people don't play at the highest level, if I'm being honest.
Well, it's probably 99%, because the 1% is the highest level.
I've tried playing at the highest level. You guys remember when I played comp?
Yep.
Yeah, it wasn't for me. Wasn't for me, guys.
I'll always remember watching you do that Freddy game. God, it was boring to watch.
That was theoretically the highest level of DBD.
Yeah, it was really boring.
It's not fun, and it's
yeah.
Exhausting.
It was interesting to watch, though. It was interesting to realize how much I don't like comp DBD.
Yeah. Now I play in charity tournaments and I run Bite the Bullet and Self Care, and I don't care anymore. I'm just having fun out here.
So that's the thing that the DBD community could, in general, could learn from, is like, if you want to just bring Bite the Bullet into your solo queue match, you can. There's nothing stopping you. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. You don't have to go in with full meta loadouts and be like, but if I don't do this, then I'll lose. Well, so?
Yeah, like I'm running around with head-on, quick and quiet flashbang, and blast mine. Like, I have so much fun playing Survivor, as long as I can just get at least one head on, blind them, and then I just run away. Sometimes I've got another flashbang ready to get. It's like, great.
How many times have you guys ran out of the exit gate after completing 5 gens and escaping the killer's grasp? You just held W on out the exit gate. How many times does that happen to you guys?
Oh,
thousands of times?
Sure.
Maybe hundreds of thousands, depending on how many hours you have. How many times have you corner juked a Freddy with self-care bite the bullet and dude lost you completely and just ends up having to leave you there? Because you just
that's never happened.
Which one of those, but it could, and it's awesome when it does, because I've done it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Which of those moments is more impactful, feels better, matters more to you, like overall, right?
And from a content creator's perspective, which one's more clippable?
Yeah.
Real. Which
I
one's gonna go
remember,
viral on
I can't
TikTok?
remember who the killer I was against, but it was on Ormond, and I was playing Dwipe, you know, the new tissue paper mummy fight.
Yeah,
Dwipe.
I love that.
And I was taking Bite the Bullet, and like, off the record and stuff. Oh, no, Lucky Break, sorry. And I got hit, and I just went around a corner, and I just blended. The killer looked right at me, but they must have just been. They just turned, but because I was Dwipe with all the tissue paper, I blended into the environment, and because they couldn't hear me, they just walked on. Oh, amazing! Still remember that moment. It was so fucking good.
And we need like a punk rock movement of people just like refusing to care and just having fun and doing dumb shit constantly. Like, we can make it happen. Like, just have fun, man. I swear to you, the funny moments that you get, the crazy flashbang save, the silly head on, the everybody ends up slugged in the basement going for a stupid save, all that stuff, you're going to remember that a lot more than the times you just did 5 gens and ran out of the gate. Like, who cares? The wins don't mean anything. There's no actual rank. There's no major reward for escaping, you know, or getting 4K. Who cares about a 4K?
It means nothing. Unless they make MMR public, who gives a shit?
You can definitely get a lot of 4Ks, right? With just running the 3-gen kick build on Wesker and camping the first guy you catch. But like, what fun moments did you have in that match? What memories did you create? This is you. You live once, man. You're gonna, if you hear my voice now, you're going to die someday. You're going to not exist anymore. And all you're going to have is the moment that you're in right now. So just, what are you doing with it?
That's what I want to bring up at the end of this episode.
What are you doing with it, man? You're standing. There's 5 gens up and you're
listening to Spine Chill. Don't stop listening to Spine Chill.
Keep listening to Spine Chill. I'm doing a hypothetical. You're standing there. There's 5 gens up and you're staring at a fucking Dwight on the hook. And you're standing. You're not moving.
I love when they're doing that. I'm like, what's the point?
Yeah, what are you doing?
This is how you're spending your free time.
What are you doing with your free time? You're not
You could
creating
learn a
memory.
language.
You could literally do anything. You could be doing anything.
You could be getting into a chase.
Duolingo.
You could be joining the Spine Chill podcast Discord.
You could be listening. You could be rating us 5 stars on Spotify.
True.
What better way to spend your time?
Just have some fun, man. Play to play. Play the game.
Right.
Once upon a time, we just played the game because it was fun. Now we
back
care
in
about...
my day.
I know. It's ironic to see me.
It was fun. We liked it.
I've been sweaty for a long time, but like it's like when you realize how much fun you can have playing this game if you just play this game, the fun's still in there.
Well, that's the thing. Like DBD's like not in a. The game's fine except for the option, and
the fun's still there.
Right.
But like all the ingredients you need to have a really fun time are there. It's just the player base that are like not fun, and not all of them. I would like it's like there's a percentage that just ruin it, and that spreads out. The more they ruin someone else's fun, the more they start ruining others' fun.
Oh yeah, did you see that recent tweet about the payback games? There's some guy who does like payback games. So if he gets bullied by a Survivor team, he does like a Franklin's Bubba basement camping to like pay it forward. Like, if you're gonna be shitty, to me,
actually,
I'm gonna pay it forward.
I have a similar story to that. I was playing Survivor solo queue, and I had this Rebecca on the team, and we got the shit square, whatever that map's called, the Shattered Square.
Shattered Square.
And, Red Ormond.
Yeah. And they just ran
I
around.
like Shitter Square though. That's a good one.
They just started dropping all the pallets, and me and this, I think it was a Neil, just like staring, confused. And it was against a doctor. And they ruined the match. They threw it and destroyed it. And eventually, it was like me and the others were like pointing at the Rebecca to get them killed. Doctor killed all of us. And in the post game, it turns out that one of our teammates, I think the Fong, was their previous killer at some point, and they'd held on to the fact that they got tunneled at some point or camped or something had upset them, and they held on to it and came into that match and just ruined it for everybody. And I was like, that's fascinating that you, because I don't remember anything about, like, I never hold on to anyone's name. It could be the worst match of my life. I could play with them the next match. I wouldn't know it was them.
Can I tell a story? So I used to play comp DBD, and again I mentioned when you play comp DBD, there's a reason why I quit. It's because playing killer in comp DBD is the most boring shit of all time. It's literally like it's just camping and tunneling. It's just protecting 3 gens, trying to get as many kills as you can, and hoping your survivors do better against their killer. It's really really boring. A lot of face camping, a lot of tunneling, that's literally how it's played. So I'm playing one night randomly. I'm playing Survivor on stream, and this Deathslinger catches me and basement hooks me. And they literally are just like slapping me on the hook from first hook. Like they're just slapping me on the hook, hanging out. They hard face camp me completely out. Like just wait. My team comes down to try and save. They just chase them off. Eventually I die. So in post game chat, they're like, "Hey, Running Man, doesn't feel so good, does it?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And they were like, "You played against me in that tournament 2 weekends ago, and you face camped me as Doctor." And I was like, "Wait, like the comp tournament?" She had like held on to like resentments over me face camping her in a tournament.
Oh my god!
And she found me in the wild and did it back to me, and I was like, "Oh my god, dude!"
Rent free.
Okay. Yeah,
that just makes me sad though.
It
was
sad.
Funny.
Like DVD shouldn't be having that much of an effect on you.
At least she had a reason. She didn't just do it. She didn't just do it for fun. Like,
that's the way I look at the silver lining, Doug. Yeah.
Yeah, I always do.
At least she just didn't do it for the fuck of it.
Yeah.
At least
she had a grudge.
Reason. Yeah.
Against you.
The moral of the story is I still died on my first hook, and the only reason I remember the game is because she told me that she did it on purpose because of a tournament game. So
on the bright side, though, I guess like hopefully they let it go after that.
Maybe.
Or they still think about it to this day. Who knows?
Maybe. I couldn't tell you. Let us know in the comments if you're listening. If you listen to the podcast and you follow my every move, let us know in the comments.
Oh, I really hope it's just full of people pretending they were them now.
Yeah.
Beautiful, yeah.
GG, I was the fung.
I was the bitter Rebecca.
GG, I was the second generator.
So do we have any more DVD? We went down.
I loved that though. I'm glad we spoke. Yeah,
passionate speeches there.
I think we've held off talking about that kind of thing in the past, but I think we should do it more often because I really enjoyed that.
Same.
Yeah. It was kind of like it was quite cathartic to
yell about how nobody has fun anymore and it sucks.
Yeah,
because
the main thing.
Again, we can control that, right? Like as a killer main, I can guarantee that I'll never see Eruption in another game of DBD again.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
playing
same.
Killer. Playing Killer.
Well, all 3 of us are united on this. My last stream title was Nerf Eruption, and I haven't played it at all recently because
I remember
it's just
taking
unfair.
Eruption on I don't know. I was playing with it at some point, and then I was playing Survivor, and just noticed more killers taking it as it started to uptick. And it just annoyed me, and I was like, okay, I'm never using this perk again. It's making me too angry. It's ruining my experience as a survivor. I can't play it anymore.
Yep. Right.
And again, there's 50-50s, right? It's 2 sides of the coin, so you can't stop everything, but you can stop. What you can control, you can control that.
Also,
right.
I don't.
It's weird.
Go.
I was just gonna say, all 3 of us, by not running Eruption when we play Killer, we're being the change that we want to see in the world.
True.
It starts with us.
True.
We're not sitting there being like, why won't behavior nerf Eruption? And then we bring it every single game.
Yeah.
I'm going to do my next bit then, because I think I miss Noed.
I do too.
So I'm going to bring Noed from now on.
I'll bring it too.
I still do.
I was going to say, Doug has to change nothing.
I never stopped. I never stopped. As I've quoted John on this so many times, but Noed is a sweet little cinnamon roll that must be protected at all costs. All right? I call it that now.
Yes, it should be. It's just a little doe-eyed little puppy. It needs to be taken care of.
Fun perks. You know that there was recently a poll I saw on Twitter that asked, what annoys you more, head-on or dead
I saw
on?
this.
You're talking about Lily Pie's poll.
Yeah, Lily's poll, right? 21% of people voted for head-on being more annoying than dead hard. How?
Like, poor little head-on. I was playing Huntress again the other day, and I got someone it was on Garden of Joy, and someone head-on when I was picking someone up. And I was so happy because I lost my survivor. They I got him again matches shortly afterwards. But I love head on. It's just one of the best perks to get hit by and to use. 10 out of 10.
If somebody gets a head on save on me, that person doesn't die in the trial, no matter what. 100%. I had an ace hit me with a head on save. That man, I walked him out the gate.
So nope. I think I gave that person the hatch. So
yeah.
No, all three of us are in solidarity on this. Once again, we love head on. Great perk. I will say, I think I have a theory for why it's hated by some killers, is because it feels like it's done out of malice. Feels like to them, because unlike other exhaustion perks, where like when you use dead hard, it's in desperation to avoid a hit, right? However, to use head on successfully, you have to calculate it. You have to plan it. You may not even be in a chase. Your teammate may be running through Killer Shack, and then they walk by the locker and you stun them. And then for the killer player, it can be kind of like, you didn't even have to do that. I wasn't even chasing you. And then they can, face camp the head on user to death, which has happened to me, and I'm sure you guys many times.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as you get a head on, you get face camped on the hook. But I don't agree with it, but that's the only thing I can think of.
That could be what, because like sometimes when a killer's walking past my locker, I'm like, I'm on dead hook. Like if they get me again, I'm dead. I'm like, fight the urge, and then they walk past and I do it because it's funny, and then I flashbang, and I run around, then I want to run away giggling, and then I die, and it's worth it every time.
No, head on is the best perk to have in a game that's busted, where you're just like, I'm not having any fun. It gives you something to do if you're just like, oh, they're just kicking the 3-gen with eruption over and over and over again, and there's no way we're going to win this. I'm just going to see if I can get a head on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just love fun perks, man. And like, I don't know.
Yeah, every perk I run in solo queue now is just about, I like getting head on. Quick and quiet goes with that because it works really well. Then I've got flashbang because that's funny to blind them right after. Then blast mine because blast mine's funny as well.
Yeah, I'm going to start doing the same thing on Survivor side, to start experimenting more with perks. I usually run Windows, Wake Up, and then an Exhaustion perk and Kindred. Because I play mostly solo queue as well, and Kindred is
I always want to run
critical.
Hope, but there's just no point for me because I'm too obnoxious. And I get camped and tunneled too often, so I'm just like, well,
true.
Yeah, that's why I don't run Adrenaline.
I'm not optimistic enough. I used to run Adrenaline all the time, but I've given up on it.
What's the point?
Yeah, these days, Adrenaline is not a guarantee.
Yeah. Yeah, I like running Kindred open-handed, sometimes with Bond, because I like to just see where everybody is. Gives me something to do when I'm just holding down M1 on a generator.
You can just analyze their gameplay.
Like
they're standing still right now.
It does give me content for when I'm just sitting there like, nothing's happening. I'm just on a gen.
Wonder what Rebecca's up to. Right?
Yeah, exactly. I had to stop running Bond with that, though, because it gave me too much info, where I was just like, she's not doing anything. Yeah. She's really just sitting there. I can see her. She's below me on Midwich. She's just sitting there.
So you'll have some UI to notice that soon enough.
Yeah. Well, it won't show me their aura, but yeah, I will look over and be like, it doesn't say anything.
It's not said anything this entire match.
Is that the locker icon I see?
I think we're probably getting close to switching to talk to new games, but I would love to have a conversation on the podcast soon about Survivor Friends and why the concept of Survivor Friends is such a divisive topic, and why I think that it is the furthest thing people should be concerned about in terms of like overall game balance right now.
I would love to talk more about that.
Yeah,
maybe next week.
Sure,
next week. Let's do it. Let's schedule a Swift conversation next week.
Yeah, and also if you guys and the listeners have any ideas about what you want to hear us talk about, as I say, in the Discord server there is a Q&A section.
Wow,
where you can ask us, and then we
might Discord server talk
about them on the old podcast.
Imagine if you got like an hour, 10 minutes in, and you were just like, a Discord server? I've never heard of this before. Did they say what he said?
You say Discord? What's it? What's Discord?
If we keep saying it, people remember.
Yeah. True. Also, rate us 5 stars, please.
On Spotify. And
on Spotify.
Apple?
And Apple. Right? Can you rate on Apple? I assume you can. Yeah.
Doug?
Yeah, you can rate on Apple. Of course.
For our audio-only listeners, Doug was squinting and thinking.
Yeah. I was just...
He's pondering about the Swift question.
I thought you guys were talking. I thought you guys were talking about fruit is the thing, and I was like, I don't eat that. But no, now I'm back on the same page, so we're good.
Okay, let's wake Doug up. VHS.
I'm wide awake. Yeah. All right. So VHS has a developer update dropping. As we're recording on Sunday. It's dropping Monday morning. I think that this might be the most this is a very critical moment in for VHS right now. They are coming off of a pretty exciting holiday event. Got a little bit of the wake up in the player base, got a little bit of the queue started getting better. Things started to get exciting. People were buzzing a little bit again. And I hate to say it this way and sound hypercritical, but I feel like they kind of fumbled. Because we're right back to where we were before the event. Queues are back to being rough. A lot of the content creators who came back to VHS are now starting to play other games again. We have the anomaly in the game, the new map and the new monster in the game, but they're not live. Nobody can play them yet.
They're not live yet.
They're not live.
Oh.
So again, I really, I think I'll say it over and over again. VHS is the best game that nobody's playing. It's a very, very good asym. It's very fun, very competitive but balanced. It's what DBD's future looks like if DBD is going to get more. This is the thing.
If you want a balanced asym game, VHS is perfect.
Yeah.
Right.
It's so well balanced. The game design is that you can't complain about much about the balance.
All I'm going to say is if this developer update goes live tomorrow and all they do is announce some new cosmetics, and they don't really say much, I'm going to be getting kind of fed up. And I don't get fed up.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal.
I want to support. You guys know how hard I support Prop Night and how hard I support Evil Dead, how hard I have supported VHS. That's what I do. I play these games. I invest in these games. But we need something, devs. Hellbent, please. We need something. We need something soon because this is rough, man. I want to make content in your game, and it's kind of. I think it's kind of disappointing how much easier it is to make content in Prop Night right now than it is to make content in what was supposed to be the number 2 asym.
Yeah.
Prop Night is a mod and an afterthought of another development company. They're not even. It's not even the primary project that its devs are working on.
On the topic of Prop Night, did you want to talk about Prop Night now?
Well, just real quick.
Oh.
Speaking of Prop Night, just in terms of player numbers. It's still the number 2 asym, I would say, in terms of PC at least on Steam.
Wouldn't that be Project Playtime, right? It would be number 2.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. I forgot about Project Playtime. We'll see how that goes, but yeah,
we need to play that still.
Currently, as of 3 minutes ago, Prop Night has 747 people playing with a 24-hour peak of 1,183, and they have consistently had 24-hour peak numbers of 1,100, 1,200 people playing.
Yeah.
Prop Night has handled itself very well.
And if we're ready to talk about Prop Night, I'm going to tell you why. But
yeah.
Oh,
go ahead.
Yeah,
I mean, there's nothing else to talk about for VHS, so.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't want to be. I love Hellbent. I love the game, but I just guys.
Well, it's guys. Constructive criticism. I mean, I want the game to do well too. I don't. Play a lot of VHS, unlike you, Doug, but so I'm not as invested, but I want the game to do well. And like we've said a million times before, they need to have a big announcement and port to consoles.
There's a certain urgency. There's a certain urgency that is I'm gonna stop being able to keep saying that I think that it can come back if they can't show some urgency here. And again, I love them to death. They're doing incredible work. The maps are incredible. The art is incredible. The balance is great. The aesthetic is great. Everything, it's a great game. But we need something now. Not later, not, okay, we're going to figure it out. Okay, we're going to get monsters, but we need it now. So get the new monster out now. Get the new map out now. Stop. I realize that you guys want everything to be perfect. Stop worrying about it being perfect and just get fucking content out now. No matter what. Sorry. Right. You just need to get.
I like this version of.
You
Doug.
Need
Doug
something
is
now
today.
Yeah.
Because I am. I just quit. I just quit smoking. So.
Right.
I got a lot of pent up aggression. But no. But the reality is, though, guys. I mean, again, I don't feel like I'm being too harsh here when I say
No. I think you're being completely fair. The game has. if it doesn't sort itself out soon, it's going to have to do what Prop Night has done, which is like they've completely revamped themselves really effectively. But I don't know if VHS will be capable, because like they've kind of disgruntled a lot of players.
Yeah, VHS or Prop Night's proof that you can do it though. I mean, Prop Night fumbled a lot on launch, and now they're healthy. They're back. They're good. They've
revamped twice. Very like the first one was very unsuccessful. People were very angry, and they came back. They have an average of 700 or so average players right now. They had an average of 150 in September, and they came back from that.
Yeah,
4 months ago.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if? And the thing about it is, like, I'm just gonna say it. VHS, an infinitely better game than Prop Night overall. Like, it's so much better. Yeah. It's a great game. And so if Prop Night can do it in 4 months, VHS can do it in 4 months. Right. And when they get this kind of momentum rolling, this kind of ball rolling, I think that it's going to be exponentially grow the game more so than what Prop Night can accomplish. Especially considering Prop Night's a paid game and VHS is a free game.
Prop Night is a paid game that also doesn't have a console presence.
Do you know what I think would really actually, as a really weird thing that I think would help VHS quite a lot? I know you're going to take the piss out of me, but I do think it needs to work on its UI. It's one of the most off-putting things about the game for me. Is like, it's got really messy menus, and I think new players, when they come into that, it doesn't like. Whereas, like, you know, Prop Night's got a really simple menu. DBD's got a really simple menu.
I will say, as somebody who started playing it after you guys did, when the game was publicly released, I was overwhelmed my first couple of times playing it, and I didn't know where everything was or what everything was, and it did kind of a poor job of.
It takes a little while to figure it all out.
Navigating.
I still don't quite know what it all is. I haven't played it for a while, but like I remember being very confused by the terminology and stuff. So that would be my thing that I would suggest to him, is like a bit of a UI revamp and figuring out what their plan of action is, as Doug's saying. Something.
Right.
If they release a killer.
Just get in the game. Release it right now. Just put it in there. It doesn't matter. Just get content into the game yesterday. Prop Night. I just got done playing about 10 to 12 hours of their biggest update to date, their biggest balance update to date.
Yeah,
right.
I don't know if there's just like somebody at Prop Night who like listens to what DVD players ask for and just does that to Prop Night. But what they did is they took every map in the game and reworked them completely. They just were like, they were like, our maps
I saw the school looks. I was like, like there's a bit at the balcony as you go into the sports hall, the gym. Yeah, I was like, that's an excellent change. I was like, immediately, that's brilliant.
Yeah, and what they did is they took the maps, they took them all down, reworked them all, and they put them back in. So there's maps that haven't come back yet, like the camp is not back yet, I don't think. I don't know. There's a couple other maps that haven't returned yet because they're not ready, but they literally took the maps and completely revamped them and made them more fun. Believe it or not, they're looking for the game to be more fun. Rather than more balanced. So
that's a great goal to have. Yeah.
A lot of line of sight breakers, a lot of big pile, like there's one like big pile of chairs now in the house map where like you can kind of juke around it and get behind it and turn into another item. It's just
that's a good idea.
It's so fun, and the maps are good, and they're constantly releasing new content. We got a new killer. There's a Shinigami.
Yeah, I wish one thing for them. Can they make a bigger deal when they do something like that? Because I didn't even know there was a new killer.
Yeah, I figured it out when I went live. I was like, what? Oh, there's a new killer in Survivor now. So
it's like we've said before. It's like they decide on Tuesday they're going to make a new Survivor or killer, and then 2 days later it's just in the game.
Yeah.
Very unceremoniously just dumped in. That's probably the worst thing about the game's development and presentation, frankly, is that there's no hype or interest built for the releases, but they're very frequently making them. I'm surprised.
Yeah, because they just continue to add new content, but it's good. It's fun. I played on stream for over 8 hours. I just played Prop Night. I was trying to play Survivor. When I got Killer, I would play Killer, and the games felt fun. They felt fresh. The maps were great. The game is just...
How's the Shinigami? Because like he looks a bit like Oni from DVD.
So no, he looks like Oni. So basically his power is if you use your E ability, it spawns like fake versions of him Like every major point in the map gets a fake Shinigami. So like all the prop machines and all the chairs, and you can just teleport to one of them, whichever one you want. And it's like it's just an instant teleport. So
that's interesting.
And it's all to points of interest, right?
But everyone gets to see the fake one.
Yeah, you'll see it on.
So it's a bit like when Freddy starts setting off gens. You're like, oh, do I panic here? What do I do?
Yeah, you'll see it and you can hide. It's almost like prayer beads, right? Or like you're gonna see it and you're gonna be like, okay, do I react to it? Obviously, if people miss a proficiency check on the prop machine, that's a good indicator of where you should go. But you only have a limited amount of time to choose. You can't just leave it up.
Yeah,
it's got like a short window. His other power is on the M2, and it literally just is a rewind power. So basically, like when you hit M2, it'll rewind you back like the last 5 seconds. You go back in time. So it's like a tracer recall.
That's interesting.
So, pretty effective at like when you're camping the doors. Like if you're trying to watch the doors at the end of the game, you just go to one, then zoom yourself back, and then
definitely.
You go. But otherwise, apparently when it first launched, you could actually use it in chase, but they fixed whatever the bug was. But it doesn't really seem like a very effective chase perk. Unless you chase somebody off of a prop machine.
I think it sounds like he's a bit of a tricky character where, like, you know, you walk away from a gen and then zip, no joking.
Yeah, and that's basically the only way. It's not a very useful power in my experience playing him. I played him a lot, but also it doesn't have to be because Prop Knight's a simple game and it's a fun game. Like, doesn't matter.
Just because a power's not particularly strong doesn't mean that it's not fun.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be meta. It doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm going to use this to secure 4Ks to get my Grandmaster. No, you're just playing Prop Knight, right? So his main power is really strong. He's pretty cool. He's got a cool aesthetic, like everything.
He does look cool.
Right? And then, yeah, he seems fun. He's fun. I played a little bit more of the Clown, too. Their version of the Clown is very fun. He's got, like, the Berserker mode, and he's got, like, the... The projectile.
How long ago did the Clown come out? Like 4 weeks ago or something? I feel like it was in December.
No.
Have they released like 3 killers since the night came out in DVD?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
And we got we've gotten 2 new survivors too. So.
Do you think they're like ramping up a lot early, just so they've got a lot of content in there to try and maybe bring DVD people over?
It's not a bad strategy. One reason why DVD's the most successful one is because it has the most content. There's 30 killers you can choose from. So if these guys can catch up like that, that's great.
Give Prop Knight some time, they'll be like, and we've got Chucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, neener.
They're not going to pay for a license. They'll just make Chalky. They'll make Charlie.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
They'll just make a doll that's sort of like. It's the same thing as like they just rip DVD killers. They're like, oh, it's not the Oni, it's the Shinigami. It's totally different.
Right.
Yeah. Looks exactly the same, but and that's fine though. It's because again, I think Prop Knight. I don't think Prop Knight takes itself too seriously, and I think they know exactly what they are. Yeah. They're a fun game. They're an alternative.
You can fart in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that says everything. Yeah. You can there's a fart emote that you can spam.
They went and they reworked all the maps and they feel real good. They're fun. They gave us perks. They gave us specific stuff that only works on specific survivors, and then they limit it. So you got Isaac's got he builds walls now, and I forgot the other girl's name. There was a flashlight chick. She has a flashlight, which is an instant save.
Her. Yeah, I forget her name too.
Too many characters to keep track of. But my point is that they balance that by limiting it to 1 per match. You can only bring 1 survivor per match. You can't stack. You used to be able to stack all 4 Isaacs. You can't do that anymore. Now you get 1 Isaac, and Isaac's got a specific power. Tyga's got a specific power. Chris has got a specific power, and that's how you limit those things. And again, we talked about VHS being really good for this. They make it so perks and in-game items aren't the be-all end-all. DVD, the power level of perks and add-ons and offerings is insane, right?
Right.
It changes the course of a whole game.
Yeah, you can completely change it just by the perks you've brought, and you can drag the killer to Garden of Joy.
Yeah.
Now it's in your favor massively. And killers can do the same. Drag you to Midwich.
And with these other ASIMs, they're making it so it really does come down to like what you prefer and what's fun and what you enjoy. It's not make or break. I mean, they have challenges in VHS specifically to do stuff without perks at all, and those don't feel bad. It doesn't feel bad playing perkless in VHS. Try playing perkless in DVD for a session.
Yeah. On either side. I did that accidentally once, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah. There's an
achievement
much
for doing it, I think.
To do power moves. I need to do that sometime. I think whenever I return to playing Survivor and DVD, I'm going to do a power moves campaign.
I recently finished the RPD one.
Chivo. Really?
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Congrats.
Gary.
Yeah, I just caught it. Like I got the achievement. I was like, wow, I wasn't even trying.
Yeah, I
Nice.
did it all in one day, in one session. I just grinded it by myself off stream. I used RPD offerings for like 9 hours straight until I got my 20 escapes.
That's a lot of RPD. I
Yeah.
love
There's
that
a-
map, but that's a lot
Yeah.
of RPD.
I'm very stubborn, and there's things that are not right with me. But I got it, and I only had 2 people dodge the map. One of them was a nurse, and one of them was a survivor player.
Oh,
Hmm.
In 9 hours of RPD offerings, 2
it's different
people
now.
dodged.
Killer season offering for RPD. Like, nah, I'm alright.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It was during an event. It was during whenever the flans were going. I don't know.
Yeah. And also, I think
yeah.
like RPD was in high rotation, right? So it was kind of expected.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I was losing my internet there for a second.
So if we're done with prop night,
Hang on.
oh, Doug, you back?
Doug, are you back?
I'm back. I'm back.
Hello.
Oh, okay. Okay.
If we're done with prop night, would you guys like to hear about Killer Klowns a little bit?
We would love to hear.
If you just said no, I'd be so devastated.
Yeah, I actually have to step away. I'll be right back. You can go ahead and talk though, Gary.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Go ahead. Go
This
ahead,
is why
Gary.
this is why he's a guest.
I imagine if one of the co-hosts walked away right now.
I know.
That would be
The show
unacceptable.
would crumble.
Yeah.
So Killer Clown showed a video of the clowns recently. I don't know if you got a chance to see it, but they showed some of the simple animations, and you got a real close-up look to their models. They look amazing.
So good.
They look so good. I'm very excited for I think the graphics of this game's gonna like catch us all by surprise. I think it's gonna look really good.
Gary, have you seen the movie?
I think so, but long time ago.
Oh,
I need to
okay.
rewatch it.
They-
I think I watched it a long time ago.
I was just gonna say, like, not only did they look really good, just period, but they look very, very accurate to how they looked in the movie. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah, like a lot of
attention
passion's
to
clearly going
detail.
into this. I think this and TCM, they're like the developers seem to really care about the IP.
Right.
But they've been enjoying Human Week on Twitter. I don't know if you've got a chance to see that, but they've been basically tweeting out
I have seen it.
concept art of various survivors from the game. And I've been keeping an eye on it because, you know, people ask questions and I like seeing what they respond and looking at what their posts will say. And some of the some of the things they've mentioned in responses to people's comments, I've written some quotes down. I think they're particularly interesting. And this is one of them. Our first season at launch is set in the 80s and takes place in Crescent Cove. And I thought that was a particularly exciting thing because that means that they're already thinking of different seasons, and it's initially launching in the 80s, but I assume that means that we're going to get like 90s versions, 2000s like versions, so we're going to get different kinds of cosmetics potentially, different locations like that. That was like, they just threw that out as a line. I was like, that's a huge thing to reveal, to tell us that you were going to get. I just thought the phrasing of that was like awesome. They also said, we have a pretty hefty roadmap of where we are taking this thing after that. So that their plan, like, they've got a plan of action, which is really exciting, and I love the word roadmap. There was some concerns over the customization of the characters because people were seeing the concept art and thinking, is this what we get? Like, so they responded to some of those questions. It's all customizable: hair, hats, shirts, pants, etc. Mix and match. So every single cosmetic seems to be broken down. You know how like a lot of Dead by Daylight were like, I wish I could just take the backpack off. Wish I could take the hat off this cosmetic and keep the hair. It looks like in Killer Klowns, that's what you're going to get. We're going to get to dress up our dollies as much as we like, which I'm very excited about, because like a lot of these games are just, making your survivors look cool. Or you hopefully the clowns come with a certain amount of cosmetics as well. I really hope they do.
Yeah.
And then there was some concerns over and this is just them breaking it down even more. This is on their I think this was on their site. Yeah, this is on their thing. It says you can change your skin tone, determine body type, select your favorite face design, dive through existing virtual closets to pick up class-based clothes, style your hair according to the options presented, and even choose your animation. So it seems like you can really change everything about your characters and make them your own.
That's huge. I think that's going to be the first ASIM game to have like character customization to that extent, because normally it's kind of followed the DBD model of like head, torso, legs,
Yes,
swapping out. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very excited. It's kind of because Ghostbusters has a kind of similar thing where you can customize a little bit, but this is gonna like looking for all their concept art. They're gonna have so many more cosmetics but Ghostbusters, you're always kind of just wearing the boiler suit, and you can change the colors a little bit, but this I'm just very excited for. It just seems like there's so much detail and love going into it. I really hope they have like I assume you guys have applied for the closed beta.
I've applied, yeah.
I haven't, but I will be doing that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I hope we get it. I want to play it.
To circle back to what John was saying about it really holding up to the original. Like, I don't know. You should definitely, if you haven't watched the movie, if you're,
I've watched it when I was younger. I need to watch it again.
And if you're a Spine Chill regular that hasn't, I implore you. It is a cult classic for a reason. That was one of my defining movies as a child. Like, I loved that movie growing up. It was one of my first horror movie experiences, I feel like. And it's again, they have the original IP owners are like all in on the game. They're like super invested in the game. They're super excited about the game, expanding the universe. Like, it's so exciting to hear like how much customization we're looking forward to, because they're not mailing it in. They're not just going to be doing, we'll do like a duck hat, and then like, here's some random bowling pin gloves. They're going to legitimately go like in on making this like a whole experience. And that's, again, I think Gary, you and I have had this conversation on numerous occasions. Like, we want these games to have a reason for people to keep playing and keep coming back. And that's one of the big struggles with Ghostbusters is like, what keeps people playing your game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And so making full customization and constantly just churning out new cosmetics. People love cosmetics.
And for me, just the line, our first season at launch is set in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to go through eras of different fashion? Are we going to get 70s? Are we going to get some 60s fashion?
Future fashion, bro. Space fashion.
Oh my god,
fashion.
Oh, they could.
Clown fashion.
Because I think they have said stuff going to be set in space as well, right? I think we've spoken about this.
Yeah, they talked about the possibility of returning to the Killer Klowns' home planet for
which
maps, dude. Like,
as far as I know, we've never seen.
Yeah, that's all new lore to be discovered.
Yeah,
so basically,
exciting.
Killer Klowns looking very exciting still. Like,
I can't wait.
I think that's the one I'm the most excited for.
Even more than Texas Chainsaw?
Like, I'm looking forward to Texas Chainsaw Massacre because I think that's going to be really fun from a horror perspective, but I'm really looking forward to the chaos that Killer Klowns is going to be. I think the whole that we're kind of, as we were talking about DBD having people getting a bit too competitive and it's kind of lost that party game fun element, which Prop Night is maybe replacing at the moment. I think Killer Klowns is really going to take that spot.
Yeah.
Well, we remember they've made comments, and I would love to follow up on this, but they've made comments to the effect that you won't be able to like choose to play Killer every time. There won't be like Killer and Survivor queues. There'll just be queues, and you have to play whatever you get. And I do think that's a good way to like self-police the way people play the game, because like you won't have Killer only players and Survivor only players.
Is that in Killer Klowns?
Right.
Is that what they've said?
Yeah.
Because that concerns me, because I'd want to play Killer Klowns with you guys. I'd want to be able to go. I want to be 3 clowns with my, my friends.
Well, what I interpreted that to be is we'd be able to queue up together, but all 3 of us might be clowns or survivors. That's how I interpreted it, but that might not be actually. Now that I think about it,
I don't know. Maybe there's a way for us to like get in touch and ask these kind of questions as journalists. Right.
They follow me on Twitter. I can shoot them a DM.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that'd be really cool. Yeah.
Because that is a good point. Because
pass on our names. I want to be on their radar. I want a beta code.
I'll name drop the whole Spine Chill podcast.
Yeah.
I'll get them listening. No, so because that's a good point. Because like one of the weaknesses of Prop Night is like if we queue up together, one of us wanted to play Killer, even if that's not what we want, and it could just be any of us. So we might not necessarily be on a team. So if Killer Klowns is like that. Like if one of us gets Clown and the other 2 get Survivor, that might be kind of like awkward.
Well, it just kind of ruins the game, because then it's like we don't want to compete against each other.
Yeah, that's why I'm assuming
because the game becomes unfair.
Wrongfully, I was wrongfully assuming that it would keep us at a group, but then all 3 of us would get either role.
I'm happy for solo queue to be like you're getting one of the sides.
Yeah.
Same for duos.
Like if you queue up as a solo and another person queues, another 2 people queue up as a duo, like the 3 of you could get Clown.
But if you stack up as a 4, you're getting Survivor.
Yeah. If you do a 4 stack, you're getting Survivor. Yeah.
And if you go as a 3, I think you should make your clowns.
Well, they might make it. I don't know. This is just speculation at this point, but if they do it that way, they might make it to where 3 is like the cap for queuing up as a party.
Which I would be absolutely fine as long as the 3 always stay together.
Yeah.
That's actually, I would love for you to reach out to them and
Yeah.
ask for some clarification on this, because it's something that we're invested in as a podcast, right? We
Yeah,
wanna be
like it's the game that I'm the most excited for.
How are we going to run the Spine Shield 3 stack if it's not guaranteed, right?
Exactly.
No, that is genuinely a big deal to me.
Me too. Yeah,
it is.
I'm with you.
Same.
But I will say that having it not just be a 1v4 situation where people can become jaded and become a killer-only player and a survivor-only player, I think that can help keep people having more fun.
Well, like,
and being less competitive. Because
I think one of the things that really helps us, we've all kind of agreed that we don't play with eruption. We play like we flick the switch. We play fun.
Yeah.
It's because we play survivor. We play both sides, so we know what
Right.
it's like to be on the, the shit end of the stick.
True.
Yeah, but if I just played Killer and DBD, I'd be like, what's wrong with Eruption?
Yeah.
What's the big
Seems
deal?
pretty balanced to me.
Yeah. It helps keeps the gens from flying.
Against all these Swifts.
Yeah. Well, it's very exciting about Killer Klowns. We don't really have a release window.
No, they've not announced
even.
a date yet.
It's just this
one
year,
right? It kind of got
Yeah.
announced late, right? We kind of just found out about it last year, like just kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It was a surprise,
Maybe I'm
yeah.
wrong,
It was a surprise. Yeah, no, it was late last year. Texas Chainsaw is almost assuredly coming out before Killer Klowns.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. If I were to guess, I would guess around Halloween is probably what they're aiming for.
Killer Klowns.
You think Killer
Yeah.
Klowns or Texas Chainsaw?
Oh,
yeah,
Killer
'cause I was
Klowns.
gonna say because Texas Chainsaw was supposed to be out last year initially, and then they pushed it. So
no, I would say
If
we'll
they
see
take
Texas
to
Chainsaw earlier.
if they take down Halloween, I'm gonna be very upset.
If Texas Chainsaw doesn't announce something in the next month, I'm going to be a bit nervous. It's coming out in the summer.
Yeah,
I want it.
I'm with you
I
on
want it
that.
now.
Don't care. Now.
Remember-
I want it now.
Remember what I was saying about how VHS needs to just like rush and put out whatever they had, like just get it out.
Yes,
That's
yeah.
not how I feel about Texas Chainsaw at all. They have all the time in the world to get it right because they have not done the things that have been done in VHS to you know what I
Right.
mean, like
Well,
they
VHS
haven't-
upset so much of the player base with the way they launched the game in closed
Yeah.
beta and stuff, and they need to regarner that.
I think
Yeah.
I think one thing that we're gonna see as a difference maker between Killer Klowns and Texas Chainsaw and VHS is that for the Killer Klowns and Texas Chainsaw devs, this isn't the first ASIM horror game that they've made. It's not the first multiplayer game that they've made because they worked on Friday the 13th, right? And so for VHS, for Hellbent, this is the first time they've ever done this, and it kind of shows with how they've marketed the game because they've made single player stuff before. But so I think that's why we're kind of seeing a big difference here, and one of them is going to be Killer Klowns and Texas Chainsaw are going to be more successful, unless VHS, like you said, turns around. But yeah, it's experience showing.
True. Yeah, that's something that I hadn't considered before. That's a really good point. And again, I don't want to make it sound like I'm shitting on Hellbent or I'm upset. I'm just saying that my point I was going to make is Texas Chainsaw can take their time because they haven't burned any bridges with the community yet. They haven't burned any bridges with people that are excited about their game. It's all hype right now. Problem is, VHS at one point had that. They had the kind of hype similar to what Texas Chainsaw has now, and they basically just kind of burned all that up. And
Right, with the rollout and everything.
And now they just need to get shit out as fast as possible because their game's going to die. They need to get people playing. With Texas Chainsaw, they can take their time and make sure it's really right. And we know with Wes and Gunn, they're making sure it's really right.
Yeah, although it's disappointing it's taking time, I would rather it came out and be the horror experience that we're all hoping for.
Yeah. Because again, they feel, Wes and Gunn feel like they let people down with Friday the 13th. They feel like they have used up some of that faith, right? They feel like they got the game out and they never got to realize the vision that they had for it.
Well, I would say, this is just one person's opinion, but as someone who really liked Friday the 13th, I think most people understand that a lot of that was out of their control.
Absolutely. Reasonable, logical people understand that. And the other people don't, and the other people don't matter. But Wes has made some tweets about kind of feeling like you know, disappointed that they never got to realize the vision and feeling like they let a lot of us down who believed in them. And they want to like, they kind of want to make sure that they right the wrongs with Texas Chainsaw. So
Right.
Everything I've read about Texas Chainsaw is giant thumbs up. So
yeah, I have nothing but positive expectations, but like, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they exceeded them. Like, I'm just,
yeah.
oh my God,
This
game gives me life, dude.
This has been your weekly edition of the Spine Chill guys. Pine for Texas Chainsaw and Killer
We
Klowns.
simp for Texas Chainsaw.
we haven't really spoken about this. But so with the Bubba thing from Dead by Daylight,
Mm-hmm.
and it
Him
did
staying in
look
the
like it did look like he might be going at one point. There was that weird stuff that was pulled out of the PTB and whatnot. Do you think there was an agreement that was come to? Do you think they were preparing for the potential that they might lose the license? And then an agreement has been found between the two, because obviously Gunn have the rights to Bubba. They could take him the same way Demogorgon was taken. Unless there's like a very different kind of deal made, I guess.
You don't know for sure that. Yeah, this thing. I'm not trying to push back in a negative way, but like,
this is a negative thing. This is a hopeful thing.
It's just all like conjecture and theorizing that we have no idea about. We don't know we don't know if there was a deal struck. We don't know if Gun Media gives a single care about Bubba being in DBD.
That is very true. I'm just proposing that it could be a very exciting thing if a deal was brokered.
I do think it would be cool if they did crossover stuff and they worked together.
Because I wouldn't mind seeing, for example, Sissy, the new original killer in Texas Chainsaw, making an appearance in DBD, someone hiding in lockers and stuff. And maybe seeing Dwight and Fong in, the slaughterhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Could be cool.
I think that's
just me being wishful thinking.
But also something we should think about maybe when the game's actually out.
Well, yeah. But DBD has had a history of being friendly with their competition, which I'm sure is easy to do when they're on top of the heap. But they have had a history of, like, when VHS launched, they issued a congratulatory tweet to Hellbent. They worked closely with the people that made Identity V on the game, because frankly they stole a lot of stuff from DBD in developing it. But like they have had a history of being very friendly with other ASIMs. So I wouldn't be shocked if they chose to work with one of them directly one day. That is something that could be considered.
Yeah. Well, and Behavior's been on a tear with that, right? They did crossover stuff with PUBG.
Escape,
Attack on Titan. Like they're just. It feels like Behavior is kind of just down to party with whoever, and if Gunn is interested in partying with DBD and partying with Behavior, like, I mean, it can't hurt either one of them to get. I mean, let's face it. DBD is been around for a while.
Mm-hmm.
A fresh coat of paint once in a while wouldn't hurt them. Like something to get excited about. I mean, we see how much hype there is for the Resident Evil chapters. They blow up. So why would Behavior not... If Texas Chainsaw is going to launch, and it's going to be an exciting game, it's going to be the newest one in the genre, one that people have been anticipating for like years now, like just, oh my God. It makes business sense for Behavior to want to be involved in that in some way.
Mm-hmm. I thought it would be such a cool map if they just got the slaughterhouse. So like, rather than just the basement's like massive.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be so cool. Sorry.
No, I love this stuff, man. It's exciting.
No, I think it's a distinct possibility, and from what I've seen, people have different attitudes with this new modern new media landscape that we live in. Of like, do you want to disallow something that you don't directly profit from, or do you want to? Is it the principle of like any exposure benefits me? Because like I run into that on YouTube a lot, because like people be freebooting content constantly from Twitch on YouTube. You see it, like there'll be unofficial channels, they'll just post like XQC clips, for example, and they'll get hundreds of thousands of views. And a lot the stance of a lot of Twitch streamers is just like, oh, if you want to post my clips on YouTube, that's fine. I don't have to earn money from it. It benefits me. You're getting my name out there. And a lot of them have embraced that. Some people don't, and they look at it as like a copyright infringement and blah, blah, blah. A lot of them tend to be less successful as a result because they don't get it. And it feels like, to me, on this topic, it seems like Behavior, they kind of get it, because they have been like I said, very friendly with their competition, because they don't just see them as competition, which is the correct way, I think.
Everybody can win.
Yeah, and Wes is actually, I'm a big fan of Wes Keldner as a person, and he's like one of my favorite public figures. I follow him on Twitter. I listen to everything he says, like it's fucking gospel. And dude was talking about how like, the horror asym genre is like an emerging genre, and DVD started it, but like there's just so much that can benefit everybody from the genre like rising up together. And so like there are no competitors when you're defining and creating a genre. Like everybody's just like working together to like make this a thing. And so obviously I know that his creative vision, his direction is like very open to the idea of working with anybody and everybody that can, continue to innovate and blow the genre up. So yeah, you've shown that, Behavior has been open to the concept. So I don't think there's anything that says that we can't see the two working together.
Yeah, it's a very exciting idea, isn't it? It'd be really nice.
It is.
Yeah,
I would love for everybody to hold hands and sing Kumbaya. All these games,
and it'd be good because I'd like to see, TCM could get like a big injection of players.
Yeah,
I'd be real down for that.
Yeah, do what again? We wish we could have seen, some other asyms do, and really market themselves towards the current asym players now.
Yeah,
maybe have like current asym content creators that play asym games create content and not have Shroud play your game for some reason.
Oh my god! Yeah.
That was a decision.
Yeah, maybe instead of Tim the Tatman and Shroud, could get people that are actually invested in the genre.
Yeah, but that's another conversation for another day.
So we have
left.
Should I attempt to escape? I attempted to escape, but it didn't work. Sorry.
Doug, would you like to talk about Evil Dead?
Did we not talk about Evil Dead?
We haven't talked about Evil Dead
so long.
We haven't spoken about Evil Dead yet. Or we can talk about Ghostbusters.
Right, I'll be right back. You guys go ahead.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, we've lost a host.
It's okay. I can fill in. This will be a great chance for me to prove that I got the stuff.
I'm back.
Wow,
that was a close one.
Things are falling apart, John.
As soon as I said the words fill in, John rushed back. Yeah, so Gary and I got a chance to play some Evil Dead together this week. I streamed a lot of Evil Dead this week. I played a lot of Evil Dead with past lesser guest Sinobeats this week.
Guest?
I'm the number one guest, okay?
We're the recurring guest.
Okay, well, let us know in the comments, chat. No,
that's how we
differentiate. Is Sino a lesser guest?
There's no such thing as a lesser guest. Everybody's perfect. I was just trying to make a joke, and now you guys are turning it around on me, and this is like final. I know it's not. This is making the cut. Now I'm gonna have to apologize. I'm gonna have to apologize to Lloyd again. So, anyways, we played a lot of Evil Dead this week. The game feels pretty good to me. It feels like an asym should feel. Yeah, you're gonna have unwinnable games against strong foreruns. You're also gonna have games where you're going to win because somebody doesn't know what the fuck they're doing and they're running off in the middle of nowhere and you just isolate them and bully them. It's just classic asym stuff. They added an MMR theoretically, but I don't think it does much.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen a change.
In my killer games, I haven't noticed having... Like, I've been put against really high-level people, and I took a break from the game. So I was like...
Yeah, you barely played overall if you really look at the player base, right?
Yeah.
I think the most notable thing that they've changed is that there's a prestige level now. That is game based. It's actually got buffs in the game based upon your prestige level, and a lot of people get dodged now that are high prestige.
Yeah, it's because it's got like an actual advantage, hasn't it? So I suppose it's like
and so and again, as a person who's like playing a lot more demon lately, I know if everybody on the other team is high prestige, high level, account level, it's going to be a tougher game than if they're newer. So I think that they should definitely add some sort of streamer mode or some sort of like I think that it would be good to have an anonymous mode in the game. I am tired of getting stream sniped too. I get stream sniped a lot, and my name on Epic is Running Man TV, and I can't get Running Man by itself because somebody else has it. So I would love a streamer mode, but I think that a lot of, especially Survivor players who are well known in the community, would love to have some sort of incognito mode so that they stop getting dodged and they can actually get games. So, but all of this to say, we don't really need to spend a lot of time talking about it because we have an update due February 2nd. We got the date now.
Oh.
February 2nd is going to be the first major update of Season Pass number 2.
So, we'll be able to talk about it in season 18.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Season 18 we'll discuss, because we don't really know. All we know for sure is we have a new leader character coming, and it's Ruby from Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Yeah. Lucy Lawless's character, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. One that people have been looking forward to for a long time. Now that doesn't mean we're not going to still get other stuff. There's been a lot of rumors that Prestige is going to take a little bit of a nerf, or they're going to make it a little easier to prestige your characters, since there's pretty substantial in-game buffs, and it's like very, very hard to prestige right now. It's a very big grind. It is possible we could still see another demon. I'm sure we'll get a bunch of cosmetics.
That's what I would hope for. Because like I will say, when we were playing the other day, I really love playing Demon in that game. I love Evil Dead Demon. It's so much fun. I do not enjoy playing Survivor. It's just not my cup of tea. I just don't enjoy it. So I really want them to bring in some... Because like I love Necromancer. That's my favourite demon to play. I didn't like the Plague Bringer particularly. Like, I don't vibe with it. Like, I love Necromancer, but it's not the one that I vibe with the most. I haven't found my main yet. So I really want them to bring in some new ones for me to try out, because I love playing demon.
Well, it's been a problem. The demon experience has been a problem from a season pass DLC perspective. Demon hasn't really gotten a lot. If you bought the season pass, the original season pass, as a demon player, you basically saved like $4.
Yeah. I think we did like a checklist or whatever of everything that you got with the season pass a few. Yeah,
you got hardly anything. There's like you got one skin for Warlord, one skin for Necromancer. I'm lagging in, I think.
No, it was me.
Oh, it was you. Okay.
It might have been me.
You got the Plague Bringer, which is cool, but she's got no skins. That's it. You didn't get anything else. Like there's really no. You got one demon for the entire season, which Survivor got what, like four Survivors, something like that. They got a ton of extra content. You got the 2013 update. I don't know, man. It's just you kind of get the short end of the stick playing demon in terms of like in-game stuff. So we really hope they right the wrongs of that in season 2 and start churning out skins, start churning out characters, because again, the Survivor roster is thick, and we have what?
I would like to see 2 new demons
minimum.
Yeah.
Oh, minimum. We need 2 new demons. And again, if you're a Survivor main, you should be feeling the same way, because like, is anybody else fucking tired of playing against Plaguebringers and Puppet Masters every game? Puppeteers?
Oh,
yeah, I hate Puppeteer.
I don't even play the game often.
Yeah, that's all you see. I'll sit and it'll be Puppeteer after Puppeteer after Puppeteer, and then eventually, once in a while, someone will play Plaguebringer. Yeah, that's how it just feels so stale, man. Like, give us some new demons, because that's,
And they've already nerfed Puppeteer once, right?
Yeah, well, they buffed it, like Omega buffed him, and he was like the clear best demon in the game. And then they gave him some minor nerfs, but I still think he's the strongest demon in the game. Yeah, overall, pound for pound, definitely the most annoying to play against.
Yeah,
definitely the one that people like to play. So
yeah.
Evil Dead's a healthier game with more demons. So hopefully we'll get more information between now and February 2nd. But hopefully we get a new demon, if not on the 2nd, at least like soon. Because the game really could use. And again, it's always going to be this way at ASIMS, but I stream the game a lot. I hear a lot of people talking about like, oh, it's basically impossible to win as demon. I haven't had that experience.
Yeah, I came back after a little hiatus, played demon, I crushed it. I was against like people who had prestiges. Like
yeah. I think that the reality is it's an ASIM, so you're going to win some and you're going to lose some.
Yeah.
There's going to be some games that are going to feel impossible because you're going to be outmatched, and there's going to be some games that are going to feel easy, not because you're good, because they were outmatched. And
yeah, like with Necromancers, I'd say like it's all right if you can find a good place to put your flutist. The flautist. You just need somewhere good to put them.
What I will say is that if they don't do something about demon feeling stale, with there being no cosmetics or no new characters to learn and spend time on, demon players will start moving away from the game.
Yeah,
because they're going to get bored. They're going to run out of content. What does a demon do right now if they've got all 4 of their demons prestiged all the way up to Prestige 5?
They go play something else.
Yeah, play another game.
Speaking of stale games which need more content that players probably move away from, Ghostbusters! So me and Doug played that yesterday. Was it yesterday?
I think it was yesterday.
Yeah. We played for like 3-4 hours.
Yeah, way longer than either one of us thought we were going to when we
Yeah.
started playing because we were having a good time.
Yeah. Ghostbusters, very fun still. Very fun game. Queue times were brilliant. Like, there was no issues with queues.
They were
We didn't
too
get
fast.
any bots.
We were getting annoyed. We were getting annoyed because the games were coming too fast. We were like, God, we need a break to go get a water or use the bathroom. Like,
It's like too healthy. Me and Doug crushed it. We're very good at the video game.
True.
But the game feels really good. But then after a while, we started to realize, like, this is how it felt beforehand. Like, I haven't played it in, like, I don't know, 4 months, 5 months? Since, like, I got tired of it not having a roadmap. But the game's in the exact same state, basically. There's been some quality of life updates, but there's nothing new.
So
Not even
we were
new cosmetics.
Yeah, we were talking about this before the podcast today, but I've got about 25 hours in the game, and Gary's probably close to the same. Like, we don't have a ton of hours, but our account levels are like level 70, and Gary's like 80 something, 85, right?
Yeah, 86, I think, yeah.
So in the current game, it caps at level 100, account level 100, and you can prestige once and get another 100 levels. So if you're going for like the max level of the game's got about 100 hours of content, roughly. If you look at 25 hours, so I'll probably be to level 100 within like 30 or 40 hours total.
Yeah.
Waste some time on prestige. You're looking at about 100 hours of content. There hasn't been a major content update since the game came out. They did one big balance update, which I think was really good and healthy for the game. And Gary and I can attest to that. We played the game.
Feels really
for 4
good.
hours, had a great time. They've done one quality of life update since then, but they've added no new content. They added the prestige
it needs new
system.
maps, it needs new ghosts, which there is a new ghost on its way, but they announced that months ago.
That was announced during the launch, right?
Yeah.
They launched the game saying we have a new ghost ready,
Yeah.
and that
Where
ghost
is
isn't
it?
out yet. And so I would say the same thing I said to Hellbent. I would say to Ilphonic and Ghostbusters, like, you guys got to get some content out, man.
Well, not even
Gary
that.
and I-
Like, to go on to your point of, like, the game's got between 60 to 100 hours of content for leveling up. It's a grindcore game. Like, all of these, like, Dead by Daylight, it's changed it so it's very much, there's always something to grind for. Everyone's trying to get P100 now. You'll never 100% it.
No.
Because there's always something to do in DBD.
It's impossible, yeah.
And Ghostbusters needs something like that. They all do.
Yeah. Yeah,
Sorry.
you gotta find the sweet spot though, because
Yeah.
again, we'll
You
go
gotta
back
go
to
too
Evil
much,
Dead.
yeah.
Go back to Evil Dead, but like they released the prestige system, which P100 is fine because imagine if P100 gave you like an in-game buff though. People would be pretty pissed, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
like if it's if it's meaningless grinding,
If it gave you
people
like
love it.
haste or something.
Yeah, it gives you like 1% haste for every prestige 50 or something. So you get 2% haste for P100. So with Evil Dead, that's the problem is that like there's a huge grind to get to P5, but you get like in-game rewards for that. You get buffs. So it's like you have to do it if you want to play optimally. And of course, God only knows everybody wants to play optimally in our horror ASIM games. So yeah, Ghostbusters could use some meaningless grind, which they've already said the prestige level. What do they call it? Professional or something like that.
Something like that.
They're gonna expand on it. They want to expand on it. The problem is we're in the early stages of Ghostbusters on that same like it's coming, guys. The content's coming, guys. But like they kind of got the player base before that huge quality of life update. Gary and I both tried playing, and it was like bot lobbies forever.
Yeah.
Like we never got players. We never got people. And so right now they have people. Like, please start getting content out now. Please give these people an incentive to stay playing.
Although I
the
will
game.
say, when we were playing, I don't know if we played with other PC players.
I don't recall specifically seeing a single other PC player. Yeah,
we saw a lot of PlayStation and Xbox symbols, which kind of is a testament to like how VHS needs to get on console.
It's like Doug is always saying. Doug's always preaching that these console games that come out that are licensed, they just live forever.
Yep.
There's always people coming in and playing them, and they play that game for a long time. So, kind of makes sense that you guys mostly saw console players. In addition, the console players dwarf the PC players, frankly, for any game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I remember
Ghostbusters experience pretty good. Sorry, Doug.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I was playing Evil Dead with Sinnoh before we started recording today, and we were like blown away because we got a lobby that was all PC players. We're like, this is like, how does this even happen?
Demon's gonna think you're Swift.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. we played like one. We showed them.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, Ghostbusters is in a really good spot now, but like this next move is critical. They need content out really soon, especially because like Texas Chainsaw and Killer Klowns are coming out this year. Like. Ghostbusters need to establish an identity pretty soon, I think.
I think all these Asyn games should be worried. Because I think those two games are going to basically take over the market. We need to play more Project Playtime. I need to play it full stop. Because I want to figure out if that's got much of a future. I don't know yet.
I want to play it, but I never do. It's like, I want to, I plan to, and then I play Evil Dead instead. Or I want to, and then I play Ghostbusters instead, so... I don't know, man. I've played it before, so I think you guys should try it out. And we can maybe let's make that like another thing. We can do a little homework this week. Let's try and play it this week.
Yeah, let's try it.
Okay, yeah.
Then we can talk about it next week.
I agree.
Do you think the reason that you don't play Project Playtime as much is because there isn't much of a progression grind in that game? I assume.
I mean, I bought the Battle Pass and I haven't done it, so I have it.
Of course,
and there's a ton. And there's a ton. Of course, I did. And there's a ton of in-game progression. There's like a ton of perks on both sides. Yeah. So I think that. I don't know. I think that maybe it's just because I really enjoy Evil Dead, and I've been putting a lot of time into Evil Dead lately.
Mm-hmm.
Could be it. And there's a new update coming.
Right.
I mean, all it's going to take for me to get addicted to Project Playtime is to just play it, though. I mean, I streamed it once a couple weeks ago. I like went live on it and I ended up playing it for 8 straight hours on stream.
Interesting.
Like, it's a fun game.
Yeah, let's try and play it this week.
Let me see if they've had an update. They had an update really fast. Last update was on the 9th, so no, they haven't really had anything notable happen for a while. So,
see, I think we've touched on all the major ASIM games except for Home Sweet Home Survive.
Basically, yeah.
We can talk about that real fast. They took Home Sweet Home Survive down. It's not currently up right now.
Oh, actually, yeah, we should because they're planning on like officially releasing it out of early access.
Yeah. Yes,
as Home Sweet Home Online, right?
Right,
which is a very exciting.
It.
Yeah,
it's weird to rebrand it.
Yeah, I mean,
do you think
honestly,
it's going to get like servers elsewhere?
They better get NA servers.
Right. Yeah,
that's what I suspect.
Honestly, I think Home Sweet Home Online is a better name than Home Sweet Home Survive.
Agreed.
But yeah, so I think it's a fine, and there's not, as far as I know, there's not a big awareness for the game associated with the word survive anyway, so yeah. I don't think this will
at least not in NA. In NA, it's pretty dead. It's a
good message to tell people that it's an online game. Like it's multiplayer. You can play it with friends.
And I think most people that are aware of Home Sweet Home Survive are aware. They're like, oh, that's the multiplayer version of Home Sweet Home. Got it. You know.
Yeah.
So this won't really change much for them. It'll be good overall.
Yeah.
That's exciting though.
Yeah. So I guess we're just on standby waiting for more.
We'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they said Q2 is when to expect it to launch in full release. So.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy that they're taking it down for that long.
Yeah.
But
it means it might come back very. Like they may be adding a lot of stuff.
Well, it's like when they come back, I imagine they'll come back with a bang. If it's a full release, I feel like they're gonna pull out all the stops. You would think.
I'd agree.
Like what VHS should have done when it went down for 3 months.
Right. Yeah. Because VHS when it went down. And it came back. It was. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
It's the same game again.
Wasn't it kind of just like it's back? Have fun. Yeah.
I've already been hard enough on VHS this entire episode, this entire season. I'm just gonna let you guys.
We're not trying to bait.
I'm just pointing out that VHS needs to like. Yeah. You know, I agree with you. It needs to do something because I like VHS.
Step it up. I want to keep playing your game, but I'm having a hard time justifying it right now.
That's right.
Which is tough because that's what Doug does. He plays all of them.
I love ASIMs, man.
Doug's the
maybe I'll go play it now to make up for it. Yeah.
To say sorry.
I'm sorry I yelled at you, VHS.
Sorry,
I'm gonna play.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
But that is our entire list. We've got. I think we've covered all of them now.
Well, huge season 16.
I think so.
Well, we had to make up. We had the tier list last week, so we had to get caught up on all the games that we took an entire week off of to talk about why Jeff somehow isn't a D tier survivor.
We're not revisiting this.
I'm sorry.
Not until the future.
I
think we will do. We'll at some point go through. We'll do a tier list for our tier lists.
We'll do a tier list for our tier list. That could be episode 100, season 100.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because by that point, we'll have like 20 tier lists. Yeah. That'll be good. All right. Well, thank you everybody for showing up and listening to season 16 of your favorite asymmetrical horror podcast, Spine Chill.
The #1 DBD, and horror asymmetrical podcast.
True.
Correct?
True. Actually, factually correct. Yes. We've got the numbers. We understood the assignment, and that's the thing we're sticking with. But yes, signing off. I'd like to thank myself, John Wolfe, one of our co-hosts, as well as our other co-host, Gary, the Hot Cross. Thank you for coming once again to provide us with the structure and the field reporting for Killer Klowns. And big thanks to our recurring guest, Doug Running Man. Thank you so much for coming back, and we hope to see you again next week.
And remember, you're going to die one day.
Yes.
So listen to the Spine Show podcast in the now.
Rate us 5 stars on Spotify, please.
And join the Discord server.
Before you die.
Join the Discord server. Yeah, you guys have homework too. It's not just us.
Yeah.
Playing Project Playtime. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week for season 17. Thanks for coming. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.